There's maybe only a few players who would break this out in Game 1 Arabia. The fun is that we've guessed this player already, and pretty heavily too. Most of the community felt like they found them. So welcome, ladies and gents. Now here's the deal. John the Fearless is playing as the Bulgarians. And we're going to keep John the Fearless in the blue because John was nice and picked blue. Now, according to the rules, whatever color you have in Game 1, you have to stick with for the rest of the game. So that means Leloy's gone for gray, which is really weird. And that's the second player to do that. And gray and blue just doesn't work. So I'm going to switch this over to red. But you can actually see with Capture Age at the bottom right which color Leloy has always chosen. But Bulgarians on Arabia Slam, give me your thoughts.
I'm actually a little bit surprised here. I haven't seen this quite often. You were mentioning, though, there was already a player that was guessed for this. Who was that player?
Vinchester.
Vinchester. Of course. Okay.
Yeah.
And, there's another player right there where, I feel very certain about as to who they were. And I think maybe many of us do as well. But yeah, Bulgarians. I mean, I'm stoked for this. This is a Civ I don't see very often for the first Civ, for your first pick on Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the last pick that this player made for a Civ choice as well.
The very last one, and Leloy gets in close to John the Fearless's TC. And Leloy Jenkins runs away from the TC. That's something that's very dangerous with Meso Civs, is having that eagle. You can lame, steal some resources, attack villagers possibly. So this tells me that John the Fearless clearly has something in mind here, or maybe was expecting a certain civilization from the draft from Leloy. But I would say that overall Aztecs just feel stronger here, but Bulgarians are a Civ where you can be very aggressive with the cheaper blacksmith upgrades and the free man at arm upgrade.
Yeah, and I've always had a thing for civs that are going to have better line of sight. I think especially for the first game, you just feel it gives you a little bit more confidence going in. You can scout your enemy earlier, so anything with Aztecs, Mayans, any of the Meso civs are going to be great.
You think we'll see a lame here? Leloy's thinking about it. Definitely thinking about it with that eagle.
Yeah, cross right by it. It is a little bit in a risky position, though. Obviously, I think John the Fearless will see that boar running, and he'd immediately bring his scout back.
All right, so Leloy not choosing to take the boar. I know certain players out there, the MBLs, maybe the Yos of the world, would instantly try and get a steal in. And actually, John the Fearless has been able to find some enemy sheep. So the laming goes the other way. And I'm curious if we'll see a barrack soon, or I would say that with a 3-on-1 opening, you could even see scouts from John the Fearless.
Absolutely. Do you think Leary is a player that would go for Bulgarians?
On other maps, yes. Like, I really like Bulgarians on slopes. I don't know about Arabia. I mean, the one player who's picked Bulgarians the most in ranked games is Doubt, right? Doubt has he just plays the crap out of all the civs that everyone else thinks sucks, honestly, in ranked games. I could see it working well for players who really like to be aggressive. It's just a little bit of a shock, and this is the beauty of Hidden Cup Slam, is that there's no meta going into a lot of these situations. Or in this case, it's Arabia. You kind of know that everyone's going to go Meso, and then you can maybe surprise them in some way.
And this has been really clean play from John the Fearless so far. There is one thing I was hoping to see Leary in one of these sets coming up.
Okay.
And there's one thing that I did watch about Leary, and it's a bit of a vague, characteristic, but when he lures his boars, his timing's perfect. So that boar will always end up at the TC when the other one is done. And if it's not, he never shoots that boar until that other boar he's currently working on is done.
I hate this barrack so much. This might be the worst barracks placement I've ever seen.
No.
What the? Like, doesn't it feel so natural? Whoa, wait a second. There was a pause, and we got an upside down question mark and a normal question mark. What the? Okay.
Strange. Yeah, I'm thinking that barrack should be out right in front of the berries. It just seems so much more natural right there.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking. Everyone immediately saying Tato. Is that? It's because it's the Spanish keyboard, I suppose. But can't you? I remember when I was like 13, I thought it was so cool. I forget what it is. It's like Alt 168 or something. to do the other one. There might be some mind games here. People are saying Tato, Nikov. Instant guesses from chat, Slam. This is crazy, but I hate the barracks.
Yikes.
Hate the barracks.
I agree. And Celts, John the Fearless also did pick Celts. For some reason, I feel like that could be coming from, you know, a GL player, maybe.
Maybe. You know, these walls, Slam, once they're down, they're going to be pretty good. I'm rather surprised to see that he's made it look so easy, and Man-at-Arm will be something that Leloy's got to be a bit worried about. And you look at Leloy, and Leloy has not really been scouting at the proper times. I mean, the Eagle's going to arrive to block the wall, and that's possible, but doesn't seem to know what the enemy's doing. Well, I mean, how could you? The barracks is so far out of position.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving John the Fearless's position here. He's going to be full walled. He's got his gold inside. He's got 4 deer inside.
Yeah. Seriously, man. Didn't even push the deer. I know you'd love to see that, but could always mill it even. And now you're in Leloy's position, and I think he was expecting scouts based on the uptime, and now cancels the Spearman and is going for Man-at-Arms. So it's full-on defense for Leloy, who's not going for full walls. It's just these tiny little safe walls.
Yeah, Leloy's setup is just, you know, it's not as neat looking as Red so far. It's a bit of a tighter base.
Yeah, I guess at this point, it's so nice to not have to invest into the upgrade. You get it for free, so you save the resources. And if you look at the eco upgrades for John the Fearless, he actually got all the quick walls, and John the Fearless just missed that. That was really speedy. But, you know, you have your farm upgrade, you have your wood upgrade too, 2 lumber camp eco. Things are looking pretty clean behind this for John.
Yeah, and normally right after Man-at-Arms, a lot of players will throw up that range. I am not seeing it from John the Fearless yet. So I'm wondering if he's just going to stick with the Man-at-Arms and go straight to castle.
A little weird that a Spearman was added against Aztecs here. All right, everyone, people are really hyped right now. Like, we've literally only seen 3 Men-at-Arms, and people are freaking out, but this is what we love about Hidden Cup.
I think Leloy might be able to get in from the north there. It's just that wall is just too far away.
Yeah, that's true. That's the problem with full walling and not having a range slam. Let's see if John the Fearless can pull out some magic here. Uh-oh. It is rather ironic that right after everyone was so confident this player was like a beast, the units get through and now...
Right in.
Yeah, exactly. That's just how it goes.
Chaos. Oh, man. Do things change very quickly sometimes.
Okay, well, now you see the range follow-up, but as far as food income goes, the approach is there to probably have good food income for Knights later on, because it's very untypical to get Horse Collar and Double Bit Axe off a Man-at-Arm build. Probably only possible with the way this was played. Skirms will be needed in defense here for John the Fearless, as you see archers come in for Leloy. No fletching yet, but 2 archers with the Eagle, with the Man-at-Arms. This will be tough to kill with just skirmishers.
Yeah, and no blacksmith. Oh, blacksmith just being put up now from John, which is, he's going to need that right away.
Right, yep, there it is, Slam. And so, you know, John the Fearless coming on home, and John the Fear actually has a lot to fear right now. The Spearman's not the best unit to have here. In fact, it's probably the worst possible unit he could have made. But on the bright side, with cheap blacksmith upgrades, he might just be able to hold this off with skirms.
Yeah, I think he's going to be perfectly fine here. It really looked like he was trying to get away without getting a range up, which would be a little risky, especially against Aztecs. Aztecs usually does throw down a range, usually just 1, and then they transition into Eagles.
Okay, well, it looks like Leloy's backing away here, getting fletching. Maybe on the hill we'll see an engagement. Both players have fletching. I think it's awkward, though, to make those Eagles when the Man-at-Arms are still alive, right? So maybe Leloy just runs away.
Yeah.
This is really funny, actually, using follow with capture age. It just it looks so silly. And oh, wait a second, there was a pause in the middle of the game. All right, some more intel.
Hotkey problem. Okay.
Hotkey problem. Interesting.
Okay, so just the typing, the writing there. Not Vivi. Not Vivi. We already know who backed was, according to you. So it's maybe not backed. Those are really the only 2. It's funny how it comes back to some of these things. Maybe the only 2 who might struggle a little bit with small phrases in English. But for now, I guess Leloy's just trying to get out of here with some archers alive, isn't he? Yeah, some really nice micro from John. He's using one skirm to constantly run away from an eagle man-at-arm.
Yep. Can't say it's too bad economically for either player, though. I think both players will have a solid
Eh,
uptime.
it is looking very even.
Wow.
Very even, so this is good.
Wow, this is honestly sick from Leloy. Look at this, man. All right, Leloy's going to kill virtually everything here and hasn't lost much at all. Look at the total KD. It's 9, 10 to 3. Make that 11 to 3.
Yikes. And he's still holding on to 2 man-at-arms.
Mhm.
And Matt, those are just worth gold when it comes to breaking in through palisades.
All right, that was impressive. So, you've got the walls for Leloy. You got an early market. It's not too uncommon with Aztecs to do that, because you tend to have heavy amounts on gold anyways, and we'll see Castellage for both players. The only problem now for John the Fearless is John the Fearless is underinvesting in Military Slam. I think we're going to see a market, and we do. John the Fearless with the
boy.
market just to keep those units out for now, and he won't even finish that. He'll just wait for the next one.
Leloy is doing such a great job this game. He's not letting John get away with a nice, cozy, full wall into a quicker castle. He's causing a bit of chaos for him. And this is going to be great because I think all Bulgarians really wants to do is get into two stable knights.
Did you see that pickoff there? That was cheeky, man. He made one archer and sniped the weak one in the group from Leloy. But yeah, you're definitely right. The fact that he has to continue to build and then delete markets means that he's losing wood here.
Yeah. And it looks like Leloy is still going for the Eagle build. He'll have to be careful of, the full spam of Bulgarian knights.
Yep.
So we'll probably end up seeing an early monastery.
Yeah, maybe some monks, eagles. I think the eventual composition is to get into eagles, pikemen with monks. It does make it interesting having Bulgarians, though, because typically longsword is not, it doesn't feel natural, and it's too expensive to tech into in the mid-game, but since that upgrade will be free, we could see knights and longswordsmen from Bulgarians.
Yeah. I'm really hoping to see John, throw down a mining camp on that stone so we can get that crypt post hype going here.
Dude, we did see someone go Bulgarians on Cup and drop Krepos. It was pretty sick. We might see some of that today. And another market. Now, everyone does this, but I think of all the pro players, Hera probably market walls the most. Smart thing needed there.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for a market to finally be completed, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, at what point do you need one?
Yeah, he might keep this one. This one, no, deleted.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, each one went to about 10% and had to delete, so some wood was lost there. But players are always finding creative ways to keep the enemy out of their base, and only with Bulgarians can you get +2 right away with these knights, and that is a little scary for most of Leloy's army. The archers, the men-at-arms, very useless here, and will need to wait on some monks at home now, Slam.
And look at Leloy's decision. Sometimes we'll see 3 barracks from Aztecs and sort of an all-in, forward siege workshop, mangonels. But no, straight into 3 TCs, just 2 barracks.
It's so greedy from both of them, isn't it? Like, economically.
It is, yeah. I think they're just playing safe, I guess you could say.
Well, some players, like, normally I don't like the approach because you get punished for it. But one player in particular who I've already mentioned in this game, Hera, is really good at judging it. Of course, Viper, Leary, everything, but I think they tend to have a little bit more... What the... Hold on a second. Conversation. Yes. OMG... ... I keep creating... Bleep Spearman. Thank you, Microsoft. I love how it's a 20-year-old game and we can't see swear words. We're all like a bunch of kids. 5 spears, not 1 intentional. Hoyle shit. Sorry, go. Okay, so someone speaks decent English, and I guess the Spearman was accidental, and John the Fearless seems pretty frustrated here in game 1.
I'm just, to be honest, I just feel more confused. I don't think that's Tato. I don't.
Well, okay. So what's interesting about Leloy is Leloy's not talking back. Leloy just did ... and yes.
Yeah.
And not a lot of communication. And John the Fearless is like freely letting us know that he's frustrated and all that good stuff. So who knows? But it certainly viewers love it when this happens. If only we could have this in live games. Do you think that in 2021, viewers, it's a radical concept that maybe Microsoft could give us chat in live games?
You know, it's amazing how the chatting itself actually gives away, you know, some great hints here, because there's certain players that just aren't going to be typing that much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to see that from Doubt. I don't think he would type that
No,
much.
he
There's
never
no
would.
way.
Never
So
would.
there's already one player gone. It's not Doubt, okay? So it's like,
I
thank
don't
you
think
for-
I don't think Vinchester would do it. Vivi wouldn't do it. I don't think Nikov would type to
No.
that degree. I mean, a lot of people saying Hera.
I know, I'm getting the Hera vibe.
I could see the greed with 3 TCs and the market walls. I mean, maybe this is the first time we actually feel like, the first time I felt like maybe we've got Hera playing.
Man, maybe this could be a Hera versus Leary right here, right now.
Leary Loy. that's a funny hero to get.
Yeah. Oh, it has to be with the 3 Ls, yeah.
Supplies now for John the Fearless. This is exactly what we talked about. He's going to get supplies of all things. What a strategy. Knows the pikemen are a problem and wants to make longswords too, Slam. Crazy.
Okay, you know how I had that weird vibe about Backed? I just got another one about John. The way he staggered his knights out in the open and just kind of patrolled them, just makes me feel like Hera. I don't know. I always feel like...
Are you trolling at this point?
I'm not even trolling. Okay, the Backed is still, I'd put my life on it.
Okay.
Well, that's actually pretty big. But this is still a little... Still a peg down. But I'm still getting a Hera vibe now.
All right. Now, this is a situation. That scout's been very active. This is a situation where you got to be careful if you're John the Fearless, because you're waiting. Like, if you show longsword, then the enemy can prep for it a little bit. And you don't want to lose knight numbers to conversions, because the knights will do a tremendous job against your longsword. So he's kind of being patient here. I think we honestly could see John the Fearless pretty soon. Either hit a counterattack as we see some quick walls, or just swoop back in. Oh, never mind. Oh, no, not never mind. And what the... There's a conversion slam.
Yeah.
Okay. Are the knight's going to dive here?
You know, it's a pretty decent raid here, and you know, John is actually getting the long swordsman just in time. You know, when you see those pikes mixed in, it's a nightmare when you're going full knights. So these long swordsmen are just absolute lifesaver here.
Just the idle time here. I'll toggle over to it. 30 minutes of idle time for all the villagers. At a certain point, if you don't get a lot of vill picks, though, I feel like you're going to be unsatisfied with this raid. But it is 84 villagers for 66, and now there's a lot of longswords for John the Fearless at home.
Yeah. And how's Leloy needs to respond to this, react to this, seeing these long swordsmen?
Oh my god.
Maybe we'll...
Slam, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
Leloy's 2 TCs are idle here. His main TC has 10 vills queued. The other TCs are idle. What the? What is that?
Nikov?
I don't know who would do that. This is the top 16. Certainly the stress there. As you just defended Nikov if it's not him. Way to go. Poor Nikov, man. Some of these players are going to be so pissed.
I have to stop the name dropping here. I gotta pull back here a little bit.
But my goodness, Slam. Like, look at after the raid, look at the position we're in now. 93 villagers for John the Fearless with Bulgarians. 16 military, 1 Krepost already dropped, and we're going to see another Krepost come forward soon.
Yeah, that map control is just getting very, very nice for John. And it looks like Leloy wants to respond to these long swordsmen with ranges. So
yeah, it's just not something you commonly see, too. So it makes it a little awkward. And here, John the Fearless will probably have to back away from dropping that Krepost. It is, the first one's in a good position. I'd like to see a second one. Right in the wood line, next to those resources. I don't know about the hill. It's a little awkward.
That one's a little bit ambitious up front there, but there are more long swordsmen coming in.
Yep, here they come. I mean, the monks can get conversions on some of them. That's best case scenario for Leloy, but I'm just worried about Leloy's economy.
Yeah. And another Krepost on the right. That's actually a really nice position.
Yep, there it is.
A few raids coming with some conics. So Red is really utilizing everything.
All right, well, here you go. Keep an eye on that farm number. That's a really interesting stat here. The one thing Hera's known for, and we'll pay attention to it throughout this series more now, is having upwards of 60, 70, 80 farms and lots of hustlers. Look at the farm expansion. This was the change that many players made to their game, is just expanding with farms. But man, I'm loving the all-in Castle Age play here. We even have the final blacksmith upgrade for melee units coming in, and this could lead to a big mop-up.
Yeah, and I really like how both these players have been forcing so many fights. It's preventing, you know, both of them from not going up to the next stage.
Yeah. And maybe Leloy's flirting with the idea of it because he's worried about this getting out of hand, and that's a way when you're behind to get ahead is go up to Imp, but
Yeah, exactly.
Crossbow is certainly a good move here, Slam. I'm wondering if maybe John the Fearless cancels everything. It looks like he might be. Or switches into more Conics. How cool would that be?
Yeah, I think this is the moment where I think Leloy needs to get a castle down, maybe somewhere, maybe on that little hill he's sitting on with the monks there.
Go up to Imp then, maybe treb it all back. You could see some Jaguar Warriors too in response to Longswords.
Oof, now we're talking.
Right, another town center for John the Fearless. That's going to be TC number 4. Rather uncommon game we've seen here. And yeah, there is a castle there, Slam, and this is just as Longswords were thinking about breaking in, so I do like the timing on that.
Yeah, it just there's like 2 vital spots where he would need a castle. I think he chose one of them. On the left, it would be another perfect spot too.
Yep.
There's just too much map control that Red could take up there.
Hey, this is rather funny. John the Fearless now making a market because John the Fearless feels like he needs it.
It's about time.
By the way, people pointing out no wheelbarrow. It's honestly not super uncommon to delay wheelbarrow to this time with Aztecs. Aztecs are a bit different there. I mean, I've seen it. I haven't seen it. So the assumptions on the eco upgrades or just the comments on it, maybe not totally there for this Civ.
Okay, there is Horse Collar too. That is good.
Yeah, he's got eco upgrades here.
Okay.
This is a good moment for Leloy to counterattack because this army should be very strong against just Longsword. And whoa, that's so funny. He deletes the Conics so they don't get converted, but the Rider gets up to join the Longswords. They're a Longsword now.
Oh, that's too good. Okay, I was just gonna mention John needs a castle somewhere. He's putting a castle down. He's gonna need some trebs eventually. Both players are going up to Imp at relatively the same time.
Ooh, what a weird fight this is, Slam. Longswords against crossbows. I feel like as we start to see light cav already, I feel like the crossbows should do well there, but there's still so much attack on the longswords if they get in close. This is crazy.
Light cavalry. This seems like another Hera move.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I know Hera, when he goes into Imp, there's been many times, you know, when I've watched him, he likes spamming early light cavalry and going for raids.
He wants to expand and get the Hussars out. Now, it's also a Bulgarian thing, right? Because when you get stirrups, they attack faster.
Yeah.
So I think it's not just a player mindset. We'll have to watch more games, but I think it's also how you should play Bulgarians. Because what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like, you've got to use mobility against Aztecs. Going into skirms with Bulgarians is not a good move when they can make eagles either. So it's probably your best bet, and then save your gold for siege.
And that castle position from Leloy, I think that is right on the hill.
Yeah. That's a good castle, too. I mean, you get all this gold. At this point, it is 2 relics for John, and it is 1 relic for Leloy.
I'm just seeing here 140 vills to 110. So John is definitely, his eco is looking pretty stable.
We're going to see a castle on this left side here just to protect farms, I feel like, for John. It's a very Hera thing to just go defensive castles everywhere to protect the farms. I mean, he's going to need something because the Arbalests are going to be in his base soon. But the castle forward's not a bad idea either, Slam, to treb down those forward castles.
Yeah, that's a great idea there. Those Arbalists are going to be a little bit of a problem here for John. He doesn't have the full... Okay, he just got +4 in Hussars now.
And we talked about the stirrup Hussars and the faster attacking. It is still Hussar against Arbalest. Now, in present-day Age of Empires, there's a lot of people who feels like, who even needs gold units when you can make Hussars? And I mean, that is a food unit trading against a gold unit effectively, Slam. I think that John the Fearless will take that.
Yeah. He did get stirrups ready? I did not see.
He did, yep.
Oh, wonderful.
Also, all the blacksmith upgrades in now, and see, the longswords actually got housewalled out, like big time next to the Treb, so a lot of those longswords going down, but a lot of map control for John, and I feel like John can just raid endlessly with these Hussars.
Yeah, the map control, the Hussars, he just has all the mobility this game, where Leloy is just a little bit more, yeah, he doesn't have that same mobility.
And now 30 military versus 30. John has to avoid the main fight against our pikemen. John also starting to lose some castles. Also putting the relics into the middle monastery, which I hate. That's a little worrying if you lose control there.
Oh, from John, yeah. Maybe he's just, the confidence is just overflowing.
He is fearless after all. You're getting the Hussars,
True,
and that's a TC to protect this side of the eco. That's a sign that Loloy's worried about Hussar raids. 70 farms for John the Fearless. And Hussars are in here, Slam, and this is just getting out of hand.
Oh boy. The Hera vibe is still there.
It's
still there.
It just like I felt like Katian Khan was the easiest call out early on in Hidden Cup 3. I even felt like Hidden Cup 2 Hera. Now he was a different player then, but he was pretty easy to call for me. And this is the first time in all the games that we've been casting where I definitely am feeling that here. But this Loloy player is still holding on somehow.
Yeah, he definitely holding on, but he's just stuck in this one little area. John has got the full map control. It all started from those early crypt posts. He couldn't move out.
Look at that gold count, Slam. You just save your gold here. You just mass and mass and mass. Save your gold. And then I think Siege Ram was the follow-up, honestly. Like, just go two-handed swordsman. Like a slight mix, but Siege Ram with the Hussars could just finish off this game.
Yeah, and it's like, what would he use his gold? He's got so much gold.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's already winning and controlling this game without using that gold.
Yeah.
So if he needs the gold, what would he use it on? Maybe a Cavalier, Siege?
Yeah, maybe a big Paladin flex, but 75 farms. Woo, boy. All right, and now a Krepos here to defend. Yeah, Loloy needs a big push, and Loloy's just... He's going to go all in here, Slam, and just try and hit that farmy eco, sending everything to this one spot in the map.
Yeah, I do like this counter push, though, that Loloy is doing. He's going to cause a reaction from John. He has to do this, because currently he's just reacting to John all over the map. So he's sending army out to the left. But I do think John will just eat this up eventually.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the right play, because if you sit back forever, you definitely are dead. But it does feel like John is just going to wait and pounce on this.
I think the only thing that would help Loloy in this position is, for instance, a castle right where his forward army is, but he just doesn't have the stone for that or the time.
Oh, man, there's a lot of units on that hill there. I mean, it's really not a fight. If it wasn't for all the other aspects, it's not a fight that would excite me too much for John the Fearless. But with that food count, with that gold count, you take this fight any day of the week. And the Hussars, man, the Hussars are going to mop up Arbalest. That's incredible, man.
Wow.
Sick.
And the GG called.
The Eco KD in this game, Slam. 69 villagers killed by John. Only lost 8. And he started off with that Man-at-Arm opening and Eco approach. So the Spearmen obviously was some type of a hotkey issue. But apart from that, everything looked pretty darn clean for John the Fearless. And for me, I think the big moment was that raid on Loloy's base, and something was going on there with Loloy where his TCs were idle way too frequently.
Yeah, and Hera, everything has been screaming him for me, but the Bulgarians pick, whenever I see Bulgarians, I'm always thinking, like Tato or
Winchester.
Yeah, Winchester. So maybe Hera has just been doing some solid practice, and he just has thought Bulgarians is a great pick.
Yeah, by the way, our Hera emote on the channel right now is actually him on a Hussar. So if you're new and you didn't understand like what you think of when you think of Hera, you tend to think Hussar. So it does really fit the bill, at least in game number 1. But there's been so many instances where we guess someone in game number 1, and then later on we're thinking, I don't know.
I don't want that to happen, but I know it will.
Yep. That's what's fun, man. I'm okay with being wrong in Hidden Cup, at least in the moment. When I look back, I feel like an idiot. But 30,000 food in how long was that game?
Yikes.
I don't know. But we'll move on then, Slam, to game number 2. And for Loloy, you're up against someone strong. And Loloy is going to take the game to Mudflow or Islands. Wouldn't necessarily say I'd know what to expect on Mudflow because we've seen a lot of unique games. Have you seen many games on the map yet?
On Mudflow?
Yeah.
Just a few. I did get to witness that Korean attempt. I did see a turtle ship.
Ah, yes,
Um,
that was weird.
and I do recall the person who I thought was still, and I'm 99% sure was Vinchester, did play. Who did? Hold up, just let me grab the names here in front of me. It was Harold versus Sun.
Wait, wait, wait,
What
wait,
was?
wait, wait. I for a second there, I thought you were saying you were referencing Vinchester's qualifier islands game, and I thought you were gonna say your game against Vinchester.
Wait. Are we talking about Mudflow right now or
Uh,
Islands?
Mudflow, but I got confused for a second, so I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry. Chat confused me because chat was talking about islands, so no worries.
Okay. I don't know where we are anymore, but Mudflow, cool map, seen it.
Okay, cool. So, the, also the reason I was a little bit confused. Wait a second. Okay, so I can see what the map is for game 2, but they're using Hidden Cup 3's version of the map. not
Uh-oh.
not Hidden Cup 4's version of the map. It's not
Prize
very
pool
different,
gone.
but that is maybe a guess at who might have been the host there. I don't know, Slam, but let's get into game number 2.
All right.
We're very close to $80,000 the prize pool, by the way, ladies and gents. So thank you for playing your part in that. $1 for every sub goes directly into it. It's been insane. Slam, I will be in the game, I promise you. But
No
I'm
rush.
delayed, so just wait for me here. Yeah, the only difference, I think there was just general tweaks to prevent bugs. So I don't think that there were many changes. It might look a little different for you guys. Anyways, Slam, I am ready to go for that game. And I'm starting here at about 30 seconds. If Capture Age is going to cooperate, Capture Age will cooperate perfect. So here we are. Now, again, Laloy has chosen gray, has to stay with that. And that color is just, we gave them freedom of choice, but it's too tough, especially on these maps. So we've got Laloy in the red, playing as the Byzantines, up against John the Fearless, who's playing as the Portuguese. And, things don't look too different here. I think, again, the general balance changes didn't tweak things too much, Slam. It's not like High Tide and High Tides where we change things massively.
Yeah. Byzantines is not what I was expecting. I thought Byzantines was going to be used for Bay, for Laloy.
Okay. So, do we see a landing possibly here? Because Laloy's Byzantines pick is a little surprising in general. And I don't think it'd be a top tier pick. I mean, it's still solid, but it's not necessarily the go-to pick to try and win water.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I think that's probably what, if I was in John's position, I'd be expecting a landing from Byzantines. So
Okay.
we'll see how this game goes on. Maybe John will see some early walls, and that's what I'm looking forward to, is how John's going to react to this, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a landing.
Right. Now, it seems like that John the Fearless's island is very narrow. And if you look at the gold positions, if there is a landing, that's a tough spot right there. So I could see that being awkward. And
Yeah,
you still have the neutral islands in the middle, Slam, as an option.
that's true. Usually, if one gold is gone, you can divide your town in half and go to the other one.
Yeah.
But if Laloy lands here, gets on the left side, John, I don't know what he's going to do for his gold situation.
Yeah, there's nothing to really know. You can't tell that when you're playing Laloy's position, but we'll see. The dock positions will be very telling. If it's a back dock, which it might be for Laloy, then maybe that's a
Interesting.
planned strategy. But question for you. Actually, let me pay attention to Hera's board here. I mean, not Hera's board. John the Fear. Damn it.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I'm just that sure of it after the first game.
Yeah.
I was a mistake. Okay, so...
Well, I mean, it's fine. Nikov's going for his boar as well. So.
Oh my god, that's funny. The worst thing is too is if we're wrong. I've rewatched these things and I'm just like, how did I? It's so obvious after the fact with some of these guys.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, Slam. So you came in here hot and heavy with predictions, and I think we're going a little too hot and heavy with the predictions. But it's islands, and what else do we have to talk about? So let's say you're in Laloy's position. and you lose that game and you look at the map, do you think you played against Hera? Or is there not enough?
For me, I don't think there would be enough.
Okay.
I feel like from Loloi's position, it would be someone who's playing really well, super strong. It could still be Leary, Hera, Tato,
Okay.
Viper. So yeah.
Big names. Okay. Yep. Just want to put that out there. And I've noticed Loloi again. I don't see seat time. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I looked at the wrong. It's been a long day. I lied. That was just the Doc Villager. And Doc is in the back slam. And same for John the Fearless. So maybe passive approaches for both players here on Islands.
I'm loving that first dock from John. Whenever you get the big fish super close like that, it just makes you feel really good.
Okay. Right. And then that could lead to a variety of different strategies. Sometimes you see galley openings with a fast feudal. Some players have been going for fast castles. I do know some players are more confident than others on islands. So when you're trying to guess who is who, maybe factor in how solid they are on water maps.
Yeah, and I think at this point, if either of these two are going to go for a fast castle, you might see a few more vills be put on wood, probably right around this point.
Okay.
And I'm not seeing that, so I think they're probably still going to go for feudals.
Yep, they both clicked up. And so with that, I think we'll see additional docks. Now, if they back dock, their fishing ships are safer. Wait a second. We have a transport ship on the way for Loloi. And John the Fearless is just going for, I believe, the winning water approach, adding another fishing ship right now. So we will see a transport from Loloi, and this is Loloi's home map.
Interesting, yeah. Now, the way that the transport ship is going to travel over to John, it looks like he's going to make a landing, definitely on the left, which is going to benefit him.
That's a good point, Slam. Yeah, he does not know that, but it would make sense to not try and cross over. Also, it's very hard. When you back dock like this, you can't stop a transport. It's not like you're going to have fires out. It's going to take forever. So you're kind of opening yourself up to this type of a play. And here come the villagers, and they're going to cross over.
Yeah, and sometimes that transport ship will, cross the enemy's forward dock or fish. But in this case, John is in the back. And he's not going to see this at all unless his scout on the left spots this.
Oh, you're kidding me. What is that, man? Did he notice it, though, Slam? I don't think he noticed it. I think he's patrolling there. He did not notice it. He's not acting like he noticed it, but I just want to point out that would never happen to me. Like, I would never even have the chance to find it. I don't know how some players are always able to see those things.
I know. I feel like whenever I try and do a sneak landing, I'm always caught doing it. And whenever someone does it to me, they never get caught. It's just, I don't know. It drives me nuts.
Okay, well, archery range drop. I mean, I could give some opinions on this one. What do you think about that as opposed to a stable? Some people like to go for scouts first.
Well, I think that if the landing is not spotted and red is doing nothing, archers could definitely get more damage done. But there's a higher, I think there's more risk involved. Going for the stable, you can pump out a scout quickly and you can send them in. And they're very quick and they can stop walls. The thing with archers, though, is I think it just takes, you need to get a little bit more out to get that damage done.
It is interesting, though, because if you start with a stable, enemy makes the barracks and then they have spears. Start with the range, they have to make a barracks and then an archer range to make skirms. And these villagers, that guy's moonwalking again. They've been all over the place here.
Yeah, I think every second that goes on where this landing is not spotted, it's looking better and better for Loloi.
Everything is moonwalking, Slam.
Yeah,
what is happening?
That. Well, he's trying to win with style. Oh, both of them are trying to win with style.
Okay, well, it looks like the scout spotted the range now. And so this gives John the Fearless some time, and John the Fearless instantly reacts with some walls. But why is Loloi docking the enemy side? I'm so confused. I don't get that. I've never seen anything like this. That. So archer range landing with Byzantines. Looks like the scout will go down now for John the Fearless. And John the Fearless does have a lot to fear right now. Also microing with the galleys, but should do well here to take out the fire.
Is there a hole there south of the gold?
There is.
For red.
There is, yep.
Yikes.
Yeah, that is a big yikes. And didn't even start with the tower now. Now you've got a gate attempt. That's impressive. But now the house was blocked. What a weird moment. And the big thing here is that John the Fearless has not found any enemy fishing ships. So they're freely fishing. And is he gonna...
Yeah.
He's fishing on the enemy side! That's actually sick, Slam. Look at all the food income he's getting there.
Wait. Oh, he is too.
Yeah. And there's also shorefish there. So you've got 400 food from the shorefish for the fills. And then you have the fishing ships he's adding there.
Very clever, actually. Yeah.
John the Fearless does not seem to know what to do against this, but is going to send some vills out now. That's been spotted. Not even a tower, Slam.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, I don't know if Loloi realizes the advantages he has here with both these golds gone. It almost, if he could see everything, it almost makes you wonder if it's just throwing down a tower there on both those golds and walling it in would secure that.
I think when you have the control of it and your vills are still alive, you probably just think, let's get my food eco rolling, let's get to Castle Age and make a stable, to make any skirms.
Yeah.
Just keep the enemy off of this. I mean, it is unfortunate for John the Fearless that the enemy ended up on this side, but that's how it goes when you land on islands. And finally, John the Fearless is going to get to the back area and try and snipe these fishing ships.
Yeah, and John has had some really nice fishing for quite a while. He's had, 8 fishing ships for a long time.
Added more of them too, Slam. When he realized that the enemy was landing, he added more of them. But what he didn't do is bring Navy around to stop a transport. And this is a big moment. Loloi, take this as a home map. It's going to drop off here and now can deny the stone. And now John the Fearless needs to wall more.
Yeah, and okay, he does have 2 skirms fletching, but that's it.
That's it. Well, I mean, it might actually be enough for 4 archers. The big thing here is I think Red needs to move the transport away and get up to Castle Age.
Yeah, it looks like Loloi might even be up earlier than Red.
Yeah, that is both possible and impossible at the same time.
Wait,
for me, Loloi is Red. So.
Okay. Yeah.
It's okay, Slam. Not a biggie. I think the archers just need to get a little bit more value here. And I guess they're just going to be dealt with. And actually, John the Fearless, because of the additional fishing ships he was adding earlier, has the food to go up to Castle Age. Just missing... He just hasn't clicked it. Click it. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, for a second I thought maybe he was missing a building, but no.
Is this... I'm honestly getting some Hera Tato vibes right now. It's a very Tato thing to pick Byzantines. The front dock thing into fires to then win water in Castle Age could take out the fish. Maybe that's the logic there. What a crazy island strategy.
Yeah. Okay. It was John. Who was Bulgarians the first game?
John was.
My memory.
Yeah, John was Bulgarians.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And that was kind of out of the box towards Hussars. So the Vills are still over there, Slam, and John the Fearless does not have gold income.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge problem because these Vills are going to be able to drop down all sorts of things: siege workshops, knights, anything.
Yep. Whereas Loloi is untouched, but I think the approach for Loloi is to go up to Castle Age faster, get the fire ship upgrade, and start to win water again. Because you've got some fires out there, but in particular, you've got 2 docks on the back with only 2 fishing ships. So at least a balance there of pressuring water, but also keeping an eye on land as we see a stable now.
Yeah, and being in John's spot, I would love to get a TC up on the left side of the gold, but there's just that mini little pond that just gets right in the way there.
Make a dock, maybe.
He has to do something soon. Now, this gold situation it's immediate, and it's actually stressing me out a little because I'm thinking, is he just gonna abuse the market the whole time here?
It almost feels like it, or maybe drop a castle there. You see the War Galley upgrade come in for John the Fearless, but that's only after selling food and wood to get gold. And we see a TC. It's just a boomy approach when you haven't done a lot to get your gold back is very weird to me. I would have liked to have seen something more immediate, like a stable into some knights. I don't know.
You could even delete that mining camp and the few palisades to get a TC down on there, but no, TC's going down on the right on stone.
Yeah, look at this, Slam. You've got fire ships on the other side now, looping in. And so fire's everywhere, but John the Fearless for now just using the market. Like we saw a lot in game 1. There was, what, like 7 different markets? It's just a lot were deleted. It's just really impressive hold it from whoever John the Fearless is. This is sick.
Yeah, and it looks like the roles have switched a little. The first game, John had majority of the map control, and now it's looking like, yeah, Loloi is, he's got so much space.
Yeah. And you know, the way it's looking, Loloi actually switching into some TCs at home. But let's see if this demo lands. Will the micro be there for John? Ooh. Oh my goodness, Slam. That was huge.
That was beautiful. And
That
what's
was
so
massive.
crazy is John's score just stayed the same. So I don't know what's going on. He must be
Oh man,
must be making up for it somewhere else.
yeah. John says right back at you though, bud, and he
Yeah.
gets some two big hits there. Okay, now this is where it gets fun because it seems like we're gonna see a castle, and you can see where the castle's gonna go up. Now this is where Loloi has knights, and where he has a Maganel on the way. This could win or lose the game for either player.
Yeah, this is and John sees the Siege Workshop, so
So weird.
Man.
To not even make a stable for your own knights or something for siege is crazy to me.
Yeah, he does have some galleys there to back it up, but
Okay.
I don't think they'll be able to hit the Mangonel if it pops out near the south.
Well, it depends really, I guess, on what can be ranged here. And that little pond is actually helping
Yeah.
John.
Well,
Also, a misclick there, a big misclick for Loloi. He clicked the castle foundation instead of the villagers. Oh man, such wasted time here. And now Loloi needs to back away.
wow, impressive.
Yeah, very impressed with John the Fearless, whoever this player is. Possibly one of the big names, one of the favorites. But Slam, I also am thinking that maybe the reason John has been able to do so well with everything is the fact that Loloi has gone 3 TCs. Completely switched to go into eco on land.
That's true. Yeah, and you know he's Byzantines. He's going to be able to get up to Imp at a better cost,
Yep.
and that transition into early fire ships in early Imp could be a bit of a problem for John.
Right. Getting a few Hera callouts, more than a few. But I've seen a few Vipers out there, so obviously the respect is there. Whoever this person is, it could be Vivi, you know, John the Fearless.
Yeah.
Very Vivi thing to just get to 80 farm Hussars in game 1 with Bulgarians, right?
You know,
The Knights are just passing here, Slam. Sorry to interrupt, and that's a good move from Loloi. If you ask me, there's not a lot from John to clear up his island, but we've got some house walls.
Yeah, I'm just still loving Loloi's play with the dock on the other side, getting the fish, the shore fish. I think that's really helped him out quite a bit with eco.
Look at these quick walls. Even there, like, deleting the blacksmith, which he uses as part of a wall to add a monastery because he feels he needs one. I'm also liking how John, he seems to definitely be the faster player. He's reacted here on the right side. Loloi's just passing. He's had those quick walls working. He has his gold now. And has enough stone for another castle, Slam.
Yeah, and you know, John, he's queued up about 4 vills in each TC. He could simply just cancel 3 and go straight up right now.
Wow, that's incredible. That is incredible. But the fishing, when he noticed the landing, he added fishing ships, which has helped him out so much here. I'm really curious, actually. I'm going to tab into the stat sheet because this looks like it's stabilizing a little bit. I just want to see the food collected. At this point, John the Fearless does have 500 more food collected. Loloi has the wood, but he's going to have to put that into farms at home. I think his new villagers are just chopping wood, Slam. He hasn't transitioned it.
Oh, Loloi?
Yeah,
That
Loloi
is-
has 2,000
yeah.
more wood, and John the Fearless has had about 700 more food, and that's live stats, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who's... I mean, the Vil count is still very even though John is on 2 TCs and Loloi is on 3.
It is very even. Might have something to do with the fact that Loloi, again, his TCs have been idle more frequently.
Yeah.
It's almost inexcusable at this point. Like, this TC, when you have 300 food, should never be idle.
Yeah, and John... I think I do like John's position here. Like I said, I think the one thing he needs to watch out for is that early spike with the fire ships and early imp. But besides that, it's looking good.
Yeah, with a demo or two here, you protect from those fires. Finally, now the fishing ships are going down, but I don't think John will be too upset about that. The big concern for John, I think, is get to Imp, win water, and then clear up that left side, because there's still a few villagers over there, and that could be a pain in the ass later on.
Yeah, even just a couple organ guns, I think could get the job done.
And this set has the vibe of an insane player in John the Fearless, who's just currently slightly outclassing Leloy, but Leloy about to go up to Imp as well. See that click in just a moment, I think. I see the university at home. There's probably a monastery already. There is, and there, wow. Imp time's very similar here.
Wow, yeah.
For both.
So even. for a landing, too. It's always nice to see these games that are even after such a, landing that's happened and a bit of messiness.
I think this is an important moment to Slam. John's going to try and make a castle in the middle island. Villagers are in that transport right now. That can't really be denied by fire ships.
Yeah.
So I'd like the castle positions for John the Fearless. I think there's, perfect spot for one right there. This is Hidden Cup 3 islands, because whoever was host picked the wrong version. So that kind of sucks, but the spacing's still there at least for a castle.
And the stone has just been incredible for John. I don't know where he's getting it all from. He's had 2 castles at home. He's thrown another one down the middle, and he has another 650 stone.
Yeah.
And he's keeping up with the imp time and everything else.
I want to see if this monk can get that relic. Get it quick! Get into the transport ship and run away! Okay, there it goes. That's funny. All right, well, that will be 3-2 with relics then. And maybe not even that. Actually, hold on a second. Oh! Wait a moment. The relic that was on the left side of John the Fearless's base was already picked up, Slam.
Really?
Yeah, So, I think... I'm feeling like...
4 relics.
That's a very Tato thing to do, right? To go for the landing, the sneaky docks, to utilize fire ships, and then take the relics from the other's island?
He's gonna have 4 relics.
Okay, look at the left side of John the Fearless's base right now. Where are you going, John the Fearless? You can't drop a castle there.
Oh, no.
And now knights could come out too. Those villagers are exposed. That's funny.
The way this game's going, maybe we'll see some Fatorias, or
another name that comes to mind is Yo. Like, I think we've got 2 big ones right here, dude. These players, and I'm sorry, I know that it's impossible for me to not. I got Age of Empires is my life, so it's impossible for me to not guess constantly, and it might annoy some people, but this is just the level here is disgustingly high. Yeah,
no, I agree. I mean, Leloy, I'm still a little uncertain. If I were to walk away right now, I would still throw down, I think, Hera and John.
Well, you got Trebs here from John. John certainly has the castles. 4 castles already. We're 35 minutes into the game. Oh, but the Byzantine fast fires!
Yes.
The Byzantine fast fires. And if I'm not wrong, I think Greek fire just come in. Which means that they are even stronger. Oh my god! This is so sick!
Yeah. The power spike from fast fire ships is out of this world. I almost think it's too strong.
Well, there was a time where it was only galleys. So my counter argument is give fire ships a couple of years. And honestly, that was not bad for John. The castle definitely helping there and was able to get a good clear up.
Yeah, that castle helped a big time. I think Leloy maybe just overextended there.
It's weird. You feel the need to utilize that power spike you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And so you kind of got to force engagement. But that castle getting up in the first place, honestly, the castle placements in general, very smart for John the Fearless. The timings have all felt right. Yeah. And now it just doesn't feel like he has enough now, Slam. Leloy, anyways, to push John back.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna just keep grinding his heart out though, because I know for one thing, or he knows for one thing, that he's got 4 relics, and that can definitely keep a player motivated just to keep putting on full pressure, because they're thinking, I got 4 relics, this is gonna be great for a long game.
Also, bombard cannons are here, so if you've got bombard cannons, you can take out the Trebs from John the Fearless and eventually maybe push the castles. The bombard cannons are going to be really important for both players.
Yeah. Ooh, that must be very annoying for John. When you have your Treb out, you think you're gonna. Oh, he actually has. Okay, he's got a bombard cannon too.
Oh, wow.
There's
Misclick,
nothing
though.
worse than being the player without one.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I mean, Leloy takes the score lead. And Leloy taking out the Organs. Byzantine castles are no joke, man. They have a lot of HP, and you see the score switch, and now the fire ships come in, and John the Fearless needs to flee in fear back to his castles.
Yeah. It's actually quite impressive. Leloy's been keeping the pressure on water and holding on to land with such low amount of vills. In fact, I wasn't watching the whole time.
God, it feels like a final right now, Slam. This feels like a tournament final. This is insane.
Yeah. Being in John's spot and knowing that I'm not clearing up that castle on the left and knowing my gold is out in front there, it's stressful.
Yeah. Slam, my favorite part about casting with you is how you can relate to the player situations. And I could, when there's an awkward situation for someone, I could just feel the anxiety in your casting. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I've been there.
There's nothing worse than knowing like, oh, I'm just about to clear up my island, and no, they're repairing their castle for years. It's just like a mosquito that would never go away.
Well, certainly with so much on the line here, I think both players realize the stakes. You sign up for Hidden Cup, you know what can happen, and as you see, Bomber Cannon Micro continue here. It seems to be better for Leloy. I know that both players have so many reasons to fight, especially with Portuguese, which we haven't talked about too much. The Fetorias, of course, mean that you could never run out of resources, too.
Yeah, this bombard cannon war is just amazing. It's such a tight little space, and, you know, you can only go back and forth so much.
My God, and does that swing it enough there, Slam? It certainly, the Trebs are going to go down now for John the Fearless. And now the Trebs from Leloy could attack that castle.
Crazy game. You know, 5 minutes ago, I'm thinking John is in the perfect spot. He's got that middle island with the golds, which is still good.
Yeah.
But now it's just like Leloy, he's not off the island. He can spam fire ships forever.
Honestly, John the Fearless is about to run out of wood, too. Look at this. He doesn't have wood over here.
Oh, good point. There's so much on the left.
Yeah. This left side was just an absolute jackpot. At everything, man. All right, John the Fearless won the first game with Hussars, and now just can't help himself. With 15 on food, just gonna make stables. Oh, God.
Yeah, and I did see the cap ram upgrade come in from Leloy. So we may see some rams here shortly.
Okay. I think it's a good addition here. Great pick off there finally for John the Fearless. He gets one. Now his moment to maybe take out Trebs, but has to buy stone to continue to repair this castle. That's not a good sign. And now the bomber cannons are exposed against the skirms and the cataphracts.
Wow.
Two go down, Slam.
Super well played from Leloy. Oh, both of them. Both of them.
Did he just fire on his own castle? I'm pretty sure that John just attacked his own castle. Oh,
he's
boy.
Fearless, man. He's fearless.
Oh, he doesn't care. Well, you know, it's 160 population versus 127 right now. And for John the Fearless, he's got a civ that many people, especially the forum warriors out there, have been saying is clearly the best water civ because of how long you can last. But where are your Fetorias now, Portuguese? Where's your Hussars now, John the Fearless? This is brutal.
And, you know, John has been patrolling his navy. Well, he's attacking now, but the navy was just patrolling there for a long time. And I think it's just, he's just thinking, I don't want to mess. I don't have the gold. I can't invest into more water. I don't want to mess with these fire ships, so let's just not go near them.
What do you think about the Cataphract edition? It feels like a potential waste of gold, but I guess when you have 4 relics, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it might be. I think they did seem like maybe filler units for now.
Okay. Just something before he mixes in some of his own light cav. I mean, John the Fearless is about to swoop in here with light cav. He's not going to stop that castle, but he's taking out bomber cannon still. And he could take out the Trebs too. I mean, he's still alive, Slam.
Look at the fire ships helping out. Amazing. With that extra range. Maybe they can hit the castle as well.
Greek fire, baby. Let's go.
Greek fire. Let's go.
Well, I mean, the Trebs are a big loss here. Ideally, the Trebs would have been positioned more to the left, but I can understand why this looks so ridiculous right now. Even the repairs in the Bomber Cannon's clutch for John.
Ooh,
He still
that
loses one.
If that castle goes down, that's going to be huge.
There's still Rams there. Slam, I think this is easily the highest level set we've seen in Hidden Cup 4 so far.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. I don't see... The scores are still kind of close, but I just don't see John crawling back from this with all that gold gone.
Yeah, that's the thing. Against Byzantines, they can just spam units forever. Byzantine win rate has been really high if we were to look at the stats, I'm sure.
Yeah, and the castle is down. This is looking very close to the GG. But no, I don't want to say that. You never know.
I think you do, actually, because the fire ships are over here. They're going to swarm on the galleons, and Loloi ties it up. This right here has got some big names. It's going to be a big heartbreak, and maybe, just maybe, like whoever wins this best of 5 might even go deep into the tournament slam. But you know, we look back at some of the crucial moments. There were so many. But I'm going to go back to this one right here. I don't even remember what it was, to be honest. But we're going to go back anyways. And, oh yeah, it was that cheeky demo from earlier, but I think this takes me back to just the mindset from Loloi to not just focus on denying the resources, Slam, but to also prioritize water, which is huge.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate, I will say, for John to have both those golds on the left.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I mean, it's part of the game, I guess. He did manage to get the middle golds on the island, but it's just, you know, you have to invest so much just to get over there, and there's minimal vills on that gold in the middle.
Sure. Well, the KD there for you, John the Fearless with the greater KD, extremely capable defensive play. Maybe with better fortune there even wins that with that gold. But Loloi with more wood, more food. The wood, look at that wood difference. Oh my goodness. Incredible. Yeah, and obviously the gold difference too to follow that up. Do you think that maybe John the Fearless could have done more to clear up that left side in early Castle Age?
Maybe. I think what he could have done is when that castle went up, adding a few organ guns. I think maybe 4 or 5 of them. Because when that castle went up, I don't think he built a single one for maybe a long period of time.
Yeah.
And I think that probably would have done the job.
Like, the enemy only had 2 archers, so it's weird to me that he wouldn't open up with a stable even. You had the food income, just make a few knights, clear up the side, and then drop a TC in a castle there a bit earlier. But, you know, those are the moments that, Slam, you just don't expect that to happen, and you have to react in crucial time. Otherwise, it snowballs out of control.
I think he just underestimated the fact that Loloi would just be so annoying, getting an actually castle drop and TC drop on that left end. So maybe some credit towards Loloi for just holding on as well, whereas another player in that spot would maybe let go and just go full water.
Okay. Well, what's coming up next is interesting. It will be Bay, which is one of the home maps for John the Fearless. And Slam, if I'm ready, we'll hop into Game 3 because I have a lot to say.
Yep.
Okay, we'll hop into game number 3 then. So, as we speculate here, initially I remember... Oh, wow. Okay, here there's even more communication at the start of the game, 15 seconds in. But I remember Leary discussing about how he and Hera think that the Italians might be top tier on this map. Now, Mongols have always been top tier on this map, but yeah, the approach, I'll explain, Slam. But it is just something to keep in mind that those Aftermath Tempo guys were saying Italians for this as opposed to islands quite a few weeks back.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't have the experience with that at all. So, I mean, I'll have to take their word on it.
Look at the messages here. This was before the game started. You used Hidden Cup 3 islands. Loloi says, true. John the Fearless says, let's go Bay. Yeah. Good luck, have fun. Loloi says, you too. True.
Interesting. Listen, right. I have to interrupt you here. There's something very glorious that's happening right now. And I'm so proud of Loloi that I'm almost in tears. I'm actually getting emotional. This deer, he's pushing a deer from way out of nowhere. You know, there's so much risk involved with that because it's such a distance. And if that deer goes back, you've invested so much time into, your scout being there.
Slam,
Okay.
every time, and I'm glad you could be honest with us about your emotions here today. Every time during the Hidden Cup show matches that we had someone pushing deer, there was always one person out there saying your name because you love to push deer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, fair enough.
all right. Well, that's a big thing here though, because on this map there's deer everywhere, but they're pretty far away from you. And so Mongols are quite strong with the hunts and utilize that to get a lead on this map. And if you bring in the food faster, you can then contest for the water. But the second best civ possibly in competing with uptimes might be Italians because it's cheaper for them to advance to the next age. Their fishing ships are cheaper. Their dock techs are cheaper. There's a lot of reasons why I think Italians are strong here going forward.
Yeah. I will say this start though I know I'm still hyped up the whole deer thing, but besides that, Leloy only went for 2 sheep and the rest has been strictly hunt. I mean, I think this is going to be a solid Mongol start from Leloy.
Okay. Mongols were the pick in Hidden Cup 3. There was a few people trying to deviate, but in Hidden Cup 3 it was free pick. Now you've got a draft. So you pick a civ early like Italians, which is what John the Fearless did. You've got to use it, and that's the same with Mongols for Leloy. The scouts are actually engaging right now. So John the Fearless has the higher HP scout. That can be very important too.
Yeah, and the nice thing though is that the Mongol scout is not too weak. So knowing that you're Mongols, usually you can bank on the fact that you're going to be up, earlier most of the time. So that's nice to know, especially when you're going to have a scout that's going to be quicker, get the extra attack, and knowing that its HP isn't too low.
Wonderful. All right, we'll see. I'm looking at the resources now for Leloy. Certainly looking a lot higher, Slam. Now, the approach that I had discussions with a lot of players about on Bay is how you want to switch off of water into land. So I think that's what I'm going to pay close attention to. Because the water is important, but so is map control on Bay. And I think that sometimes people they invest too many resources into controlling water, and then suddenly they have no map control.
Yeah. And the timings are going to look, I think, very similar. I think John won't be too far behind here.
Right. Is Leloy tempted to attack there? No. Leloy just scouting to see, right, the enemy's walling. That's a smart wall, actually. If you wall towards the water, units can still pass in front of the dock. This is what I mean, Slam. Yeah. Like the uptimes, because it's cheaper for Italians, it makes it somewhat competitive, plus they're a good water civ.
And it's coming from John, too. I mean, he's had some clean build. Like, his eco's been pretty good, judging from game 1. So, that efficiency's there, which is super important in Dark Age in a map like this.
All right, I see something that you will like, Slam. I know you normally push the deer, but some old farts actually like to make mills on the deer.
You know what? As long as the deer are being taken care of, I'm happy.
Is that what that means? Killing a deer and eating its carcass, that's taking care of it?
It's questionable.
Okay, all right. I mean, taken care of, it sounds like something a hitman would say, It's like, you take care of your deer,
Yeah. One thing I will point out here is Leloy is sticking with 1 lumber camp, which is cool, because I think players are always thinking that you need to get 2 lumber camps down for this kind of play, but you don't necessarily need to. Just like we see in Ooh, that was very close. I'm watching that scout fight.
I'm confused how John the Fearless lost that, but I guess it's just all that attack from being in Feudal Age there. That's a 3 HP scout left for Leloy.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful feeling, knowing that you now have your scout and your opponent doesn't. It's literally a mental advantage instantly.
And the big deal here, let me look at John the Fearless's scouting. Oh my god, he doesn't see the deer or anything. Now, he'll probably know to check it, but this is just an invitation for Leloy to take all the deer.
Yeah. And both players are going with 1 dock.
Yeah.
This is so strange. And both of them have decided that they're not going to fully invest in water.
Even Leloy. Wait a second, they're both going with somewhat of a galley opening? This is interesting. So 1 fire, 1 galley now for Leloy. What if this is 2 teammates who have a very similar approach for this map?
Yeah, they've been practicing together, and it's so strange. I mean, imagine if one of them did invest like
Yeah.
2 docks right now. I mean, I just feel like that would still be the better approach, getting 2 fire ships out, and now you have just a lot of fish left.
Seriously, all right. Well, I mean, 2 fishing ships is better than none. Plus, you have the Mongol hunt bonus. Plus, you're going to be making some of your own archers. Are the villagers still... Oh, wow, that deer was trolling. That deer ran really far away. It didn't want to be taken care of there. But I'd like to see Loloy eventually even just relocate and go further to the belt area
Yeah.
and take more deer. It's risky, Slam, but I think it's worth it.
Imagine playing as Loloy though. You're microing. You come back down to your mill, and you're going, okay, what?
Yeah.
Why? What? Doesn't make any sense.
For a split second, you might think you actually lost villagers there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, I see the scouts over here. And so the scout's going to look and see these, and I think it's worth it to run out there and make another mill. I don't know about staying out here all game, but
Yeah.
what a crazy wall off. Have you ever seen someone wall like this on this map?
No, everything that's happened so far in this game has been pretty unique to me, because it's just even the 2 one dock openings.
Oh, man, and
Crazy.
the micro there from Loloy, too, to just keep that fishing ship working. What a spot. Like, everything has gone wrong for John the Fearless. Everything has gone right for Loloy.
Yeah, and Loloy, this wall setup, is he going to go all the way to the belt with this, or?
I kind of like it, honestly. It
Yeah,
looks
I
good.
know.
The only thing that's
Yeah.
weird is you want to have ranged units out in case archers show up.
Yeah.
And that's where I would go if I were John the Fearless with my archers against Mongols.
Yeah.
But
I think if Loloy sees the archers hitting the walls now up north, it might tempt him to maybe move his own army out at some point.
right, man, I'm just... There's always this mixed feeling in Hidden Cup when I can tell that in an early round there's 2 massive names, you know? It's what's beautiful about Hidden Cup, but it's also what can be brutal from the player's perspective. And it's so cool how players who, we don't know if they're teammates or not, have had such a similar approach, at least when it comes to the one dock here.
And you can actually kind of feel or understand Loloy's mindset going into this game now. It just hit me. He's thinking, one dock, I am going all for deer this game, because he's got 5 on Vils, the way he set up his walls, the way he's patrolled his army near the deer. You can tell that before this game started, that was his one mission, was not worried about the water. I'm going for the full deer play.
I think so far in this game, Loloy has collected more deer than all the previous Bay games combined. I can't think of another game where someone even went out to them, Slam. And with or without Mongols, there's been instances where they just push it. So this is pretty sick.
Yeah. It is really cool to see. It's just boom, right onto the next, and you know, that's what I was sort of picking up there. Is a lot of players will just kind of, you know, send out 2-3 Vils for that one pack of deer and then go home.
I'm trying to think through players these might be, and there's some big names entering my mind, but I'll tell you this much. John the Fearless is still okay. If John the Fearless can use the faster castle age and use archer numbers, you could see crossbowmen come in a bit faster and perhaps get some pickoffs. He does have 4 archers against 3, and with good micro, all these villagers here that are taking the deer could go down soon. So a little risky for Loloy, who uses the market and clicks up.
It is good to see that Loloy is still adding some farms, adding some Vils on berries, because there is an awkward transition sometimes where you get that really big food boost from deer, and then that's it. They're standing there, and you got to transition onto something else, and then your food actually takes a dip. So
Okay, so that was an interesting moment. Loloy spotted 4 archers from John the Fearless, has now finished the hunt. If you look at what John the Fearless can see, he's going to check. He knows he's probably gone through 2 packs of deer so far. What's weird to me is how Loloy just has not remembered the villagers are here.
they're walking. No way.
Perhaps the first mistake, Slam, from Loloy. And John the Fearless is going to say thank you to the Age of Empires gods for this one, because he really needed this.
Yeah, that was... You see, when John was walking down there too, he didn't have a clue if there was anything down there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's unfortunate. But only 2 Vils though.
You know what's interesting though is he does have 2 fishing ships working, John the Fearless. So he actually remains competitive on water. Something that Yeah, I think we were freaking out about the deer a little bit too much. We forgot to mention
Oh,
there.
yes.
So that helps
Yeah.
a little in terms of total eco. John is in the better position, but later to Castle Age.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, from now until Imp, those 2 fishing ships could, I mean, whatever food is left there, that's like, that could be, you know, the food of an Imp upgrade.
Yeah. And this is good micro from both players. I just loving the dancing here. We've seen splits from both, but the micro from John the Fearless seems superior. Kind of got that vibe that John the Fearless is the faster player in game 1 and game 2, believe it or not. Big moment in the middle now as John the Fearless again shows up, gets kills, and runs away.
Yeah. And there, at first, there was quite a bit of difference in eco. John the Fearless, his eco is just looking quite a bit better. I don't know where Leloy's resources went to. I guess to a bunch of upgrades right away.
Look at this. That right there, it's a bit sloppy for Leloy, and seems like this whoever Red is very good strategically. Maybe just struggling to keep up with the pace of things here, Slam. But then again, it's a lot more difficult. You've got villagers exposed, whereas the way John the Fearless is playing is completely safe behind walls.
Yeah, Leloy has his heart set out on these deer still. You know, he's he's walled everything else off, but there's that one last spot of deer, and this is exactly where he's patrolling.
Dude, I'd be saying your name if you were in this event. I'd say
I
that
know.
Leloy was you right now.
Listen, if he goes for another patch of deer, I'm gonna be amazed.
All right. I mean, honestly, that I would have said, but would have looked back at the islands and said, like, yeah, maybe it's not Slam. Oh, boy. That's all right. I'm not very good there either. A big moment here. Slam and the micros. Beautiful. Ballistics a little faster for Leloy.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. The splits, the dodging. This is disgusting.
Oh, hair. Man, that back and forth on those red archers screaming Hera again.
What in the name is this, dude? Both of them are doing it, man. You micro, I micro. As Doubt said, I'm modern. Modern micro.
Yeah. I might be using the wrong colors here again, but John seemed like he was a little bit more obsessed with it. That's just the feeling I had.
There are moments where I feel, you know what, I really want to train. I want to see how good I can get at this game. And then I watch that and I say, screw it. Like, why even research ballistics? Truthfully. You're both so good at dodging it. Just don't even get the upgrade. Just make a town center. My goodness.
You know what? Just scrap everything else. Focus on the Archer Micro, and that's it. And then when that moment comes, you can shine, and you just go back and forth, you know? And then everything else will go... Okay, yeah.
Sorry, Slam. It's just the 2 crossbows pathing around that really sucks. But I think John the Fearless is more worried about the group of 4 here. Siege Workshop in the middle for Leloy. Important thing to bring up that I did not mention earlier. Leloy sold 100 stone to buy food to click up to Castle Age. And economically, just look at the food for John the Fearless, as John the Fearless is going for 3 TCs. I think John the Fearless will have a much better economy.
Yeah, this is looking really good for John. I know the scores still look pretty even, but... Mongols just seems still a little bit awkward when you're going to Imp, because you're always thinking Mangudai, but that could actually, you know, get you killed in the end. So Mongols are almost forced to maybe go for range units.
You know, if Lix was in this tournament, and with the exception of that micro move, I might even say Lix, because all the sneakiness, man. Look at this. Villagers walking all the way forward to make a siege workshop, and these are the deer villagers from earlier, so they've really seen the worlds here. And, you know, John is thinking, is he out here with something? There's really no way for John to break in.
Yeah.
Now John's army's out of position while his woodlines are exposed.
Yeah, I think John was just really wanting to go. He was rewarded once going down this way before, and maybe that's why he's looking for that hole. Anything else he can pick up.
Okay, Slime, Siege Tower. What are your thoughts?
Ooh, is that happening? Oh,
no,
okay.
no, I'm sorry. I should have said that differently.
You said it so casually. You're like, oh, the Siege Tower's coming in. And I'm like, wait, what? Thoughts? I don't know. I'm getting that feeling where it could be a bit of an investment. Archers hop the wall, enemy garrisons, and all of a sudden your archers are stuck on that side.
All right.
And then that would be the risk.
You know, occasionally I need to speak the mind of a few people out there, and I know you people thinking that through. And did John the Fearless just realize that woodline sucked and reposition at the proper time? Because my goodness, does lose a villager, does get surprised, but not on the woodline that Leloy was hoping for.
Yeah, it looks like John doesn't want to build archers because he sees his food is in such a good spot and he's so close to clicking up and he doesn't have a market.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, it definitely. This is the approach that you'd expect from someone like Leary, someone like Hera,
yeah.
and maybe someone like Viper as well, right? It's just such good macro, and hoping to go for a fast Imperial, but now you're getting pressured by Mangonels, and suddenly this isn't looking too hot. We'll see how the defense
Yeah.
is for John, and already 1-for-1. Pressure's on.
And okay, I was concerned there for a second for John. I thought maybe he didn't have his second imp building, but he does, and now he's clicked.
Yeah, confidently using the crossbows against the Mangonel there. You know, the losses are being taken here, Slam, but it's losses that John, I think, can afford to take with
Yeah.
solid archer numbers. Has to maintain that. But, you know, the big thing being, look at this. Crossbows against the Mangonel. Look at that. And now the split micro. And it goes down. And meanwhile,
Both.
using the other ones. Oh my
Okay.
goodness. This is sick, Slam.
Well done by John. Well done. It's
Man.
just
There's no need to even force the fight out here. Oh!
okay. That was a good hit. Yeah.
Paying the price possibly a little bit here is John the Fearless, but how would you feel if you're Leloy and someone is going confidently after your Mangonels with crossbows?
I don't know. I'd be losing some confidence here, that's
Yeah.
for sure. And here's the interesting thing is John is the one going up to imp earlier.
Mhm.
And normally with that kind of investment, you'd expect the other player to be putting on, getting the map control, getting the
Yep.
pressure, which Leloy was trying to do. But no, John actually did both. He held that off, went up to imp, and that's probably best case scenario for him.
Has to be said. Very fitting name for the blue player, right? Like to micro like this, to play like this, very fitting name. So
Yeah.
bad, man. And I'm just thinking back to that third TC not being up for Leloy. The macro was quite honestly just horrible. And the pressure not good enough. Just now seeing the third town center is very, very rare for high-level Age of Empires. But I guess when you're doing so much, when you're relying on the deer for food as opposed to farms, there's some risk to that, right?
Yeah. Oh, the position Leloy's in. So far from imp.
Oh, man, and 1-for-1 there with the Mangonels. You know, Slam, there is something, though. Currently, John the Fearless wants to go forward. If Leloy gets a castle up forward, just to protect that eco, and continues to pressure if John takes that risk to go forward, buy Leloy time, and I think Mongols are by far the superior civilization in post-Imperial.
Yeah, I would agree. Post, yeah. What's going to be nasty here, though, is John's going to be able to get those bombard cannons going here shortly. And if there is a castle, that may, at first, it's going to help Leloy. John won't be able to do anything, but at the same time, it gives an opportunity for John to start spamming the bombard cannons.
Micro from both there. I mean, it's just the level of play you need to do this is insane. Even the repair villager here. Here comes the forward you're talking about, Slam. I'll show that in a second. Another crucial moment, I feel, because Leloy, there's a lot of eco back there he could try and take out, but then again, it's a little awkward to consider that. And this is where that castle is needed right now. And a big Mangonel shot would be good, too.
Ooh.
That should be easy split micro, right? Oh!
Oh.
That hurt. Okay.
Yeah,
There's
did it hurt a
skirms in there,
little.
Slam.
Yeah. Oh, in John's army? Oh, in the ranges.
Yeah, but there's not enough. Like, I think you could take an
Yeah.
engagement over the next 40 seconds, but you don't even have the second armor upgrade, so it's kind of... The timing's a little poor on that.
Yeah, this is looking, it's looking over for Leloy, just simply because of the distance Leloy is from going up to imp.
Yep.
Even if he goes skirms, he's up against full tech archers soon.
Yeah, and Arbalest should shred skirmishers. Also, Mongol skirms do not translate well into the late game as they lack armor upgrades. But I think Leloy showed in the previous game how good he can be with stubborn play. And we see a TC now on the right side. So I guess in theory, if you defend long enough, John the Fearless has not expanded too much.
Yeah, true. But here comes a castle drop from John.
This is actually really funny.
I see that. Oh boy.
And now Skirms are here, but the Arbalest are they out of position? Where'd they go?
He did take
Oh.
it back a notch.
Yeah, he's in the south, Slam. So actually his castle has to back up. That kind of hurts.
Yeah, good job by Leloy for the south side, keeping no, palisade opening there. All houses.
Oh,
Blacks,
oh my God.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Does John the Fearless see it? This is a horrible fight for John the Fearless to be taking. Considering everything we said about how well Cashblade's skirmishers could do, that was amazing for Leloy.
Yeah, that's probably best case scenario Leloy could have asked for the position he's in.
Still, you do have to ask. Still not an imp. Still 37 arbs on the field. I think he needed to kill a lot more there to feel comfortable.
Yeah. I really do think John could probably just finish this with the Arb and Bomber Cannon combo. Bomber Cannon is pretty decent against skirms.
Yep. Very good. Arbalest over here. And Leloy realizes the situation and says, you know what? GG. And Slam, another game where I think both players are playing great. The strategy's been different. Leloy clearly has been prepared for this best of 5 with the island strategy and then with the Mongol strategy here. But I look back at a few crucial moments, and I think one we kind of slipped up on with not mentioning is the water did help John the Fearless. He did actually end up having some value there. And then his switch into farms felt better long-term than Leloy's awkward position, going 2 TCs and relying on just the deer for food.
Even if you just think about it in a different way, for example, you take the amount of food left on the fish, and that's what he's going to end up gathering with the 2 fishing ships, and just like I mentioned earlier, take that off with the cost of an imp upgrade. You could pretty much say, oh man, this is Italians with imp that only costs gold and it's cheaper, and we'd all be like, wow, that's too big of an advantage. This guy's going to win for sure. But that's essentially what's happening here from this subtle little thing that's happening on the water. So if you think about it that way, it's quite crazy.
Yeah, lack of wheelbarrow perhaps. You always think the name Nikov sometimes with delayed eco upgrades, but there's been so many people who've delayed a few eco upgrades. We can't just scream Nikov every time. It's like screaming MBL when someone gets housed, I guess. But either way, that upgrade was not even completed yet, Slam. So that might have had a lot to do with the fact that he didn't have the resources to go up to Imperial. I'll go back to a couple big moments in that game. And this is again using Capture Age Pro, guys. If you want to check out Capture Age itself, captureage.com. Click the link below the stream, though, if you want to see and maybe experiment with rewinding and a bunch of different things you can do with this. But I think John the Fearless was a little too good with the micro here. Watch this. I mean, both players were sick. Probably the best micro we've seen in the tournament so far. Is anything even connecting here? Okay, there's a kill. Oh, my word, Slam.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
How does it feel to pull that off? I know you can do it.
The one I don't do as often is the quick zigzag back and forth, and I know Hera is very good at that one. I think Leary's as well. I'm more of a split and then maybe using 1 or 2 units at a time to dodge it.
Okay, all right. Well, that was impressive, and then later on, this game developed. At this point, John the Fearless had the lead in our eyes. And you start to see the crossbows just turn it into overdrive. In terms of highlights, this game alone showed ridiculous level. Look at this here. Does take a shot, but also microing over there. And the thing is, the TCs aren't even idle throughout this. Look at that. The TC at the bottom left, they're all pumping out villagers the entire time.
Yeah.
Truly a different level here.
And if you notice one of the mango shots on the top group of archers, I know any player may do this, but one player that does it quite often is Leary, where right before the mango shoots, instead of splitting or going to the side, he actually just goes straight forward and it actually just goes over top. Leary does that quite often.
Not saying that Hera, not saying that Viper don't have the quality to do this, but I think, and I'll just go to this moment right here, which I guess ended up being a mistake for John the Fearless, which didn't matter. But if it wasn't for game 1 in the Hussars, I would be thinking Leary after this particular game. Those two players are very, very similar. And of course, train together all the time, I'm sure. But wow. But yeah, this didn't end up mattering, Slam. So we're going to end up just going to the final statistics on this one. and the KD was actually quite close, but John the Fearless with more food and more gold, which eventually led to Imp and the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Sick. Someone said show the deer count. We don't have that stat, sadly. And apparently we don't have a screen or scoreboard here anymore. This is Hidden Cup after all. 1 second. We'll get this up and running for us. What was the home map again? Okay, so I think the other one for John the Fearless was Cup.
Yeah.
And then was it Mud? I think it was Mud Flow.
Flow. Yeah.
For Loloy,
For Loloy.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's see. Oh, we got it, Slim. We're so good at this, man.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So good at this. All right. Well, are you ready for game number 4 then? Because Loloy's going to have to
Absolutely.
respond here.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it, guys. Game number 4. If we could get some hype in chat, I'd love to see it. Appreciate everything, guys. Low sanity with the Insane Gifted today. Wise Sam and Giovanni. Reminder that every single sub contributes to that prize pool. We're a couple hundred away from hitting $80,000 prize pool. So you're supporting the channel, you're supporting the tournament, supporting the players. As it stands, as I'm 30 seconds into game number 1 here, I believe losing in round 1 is closing in on a $3,000 prize, which is amazing. So thank you. And then I think the winner, like 17, 18, 19,000. I'm not so sure, Slam. But we've got Indians for Loloy and Japanese for John the Fearless. What are you thinking about the Indians pick?
You know, I love it just because of the simple bonus on the fisherman here. But after that, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go. Maybe we'll see some CA from Indians. That would be pretty cool on a map like this. But then I just think that Japanese overall is going to be a good civ against Indians as the game goes on.
Yeah, it's a situation where I think Indians really struggle against heavy pikeman play. They don't have knights to begin with. Camels, that doesn't contribute too much against a civilization that's probably not going to make knights. So I think the bonuses for Indians would probably be the cheaper villagers and collecting food very quickly here at the start, which Loloy is doing. There's a slight bonus for Indians when collecting the fish. There's berries too, which you'll want to mill. That helps with Japanese cheap mills. There's elephants even, and then there's all that wood in the middle.
Yeah, I think ultimately Indians you'd probably want to see as late game full CA and what else? I don't think you'd want to go for camels.
No, maybe
especially against Japs.
I think opening with scouts is pretty good though, because you should have the food floating to make them. And then switching into archers and skirmishers could still be strong. It's not like you get Arbalest long term, but in the mid game, I could see you getting some leads here.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm more curious about the Japanese play, because I think that civ's more suited for an early barracks opening. That civ's more suited for maybe even playing towards Water Slam. Have you played this map at all? I imagine maybe you haven't.
This one I haven't. I have tried out. I think it was 2 others. I think Quarry and I forget the other one. But this one, no.
We have not even seen Quarry yet in the main event, which is pretty crazy, actually. I mean, you've got 12 maps in total, and then only 5 maps can be played. Game 1's always Arabia, so it's not too surprising that some maps are excluded. But the fact that not one single person has picked Quarry is something else.
That's the one I jumped into to practice, to prepare for casting.
Oh, all right. There you go, Slam. Did you do, obviously you don't have to share information, but did you do any practice games with some of your GL teammates?
No, not for this. For qualification rounds, yes, but for these ones, no.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't sure. You've got what? Viper, Tato, Doubt. Tato, Doubt are known for training together a lot. I'm sure Viper was in on that. I think he was training a lot with Jordan, actually. Jordan also, almost forgot to mention him in the main event.
Yeah. Speaking of Jordan, I'm still having a little bit of a vibe that Loloy could be Jordan. Okay. I know some of us have mentioned it, Nikov or Tato.
Interesting. All right. Well, we'll see. We see Loom right now for Loloy. Yeah, I'm still, really, we have to see this set and the next set, and then I'm going to have to sit down after today and try and pin down my guesses for who the players are. But many people were saying Admiral on day one was Jordan, but that would have been Jordan like at his absolute peak, right? Like I can easily
Yeah.
see Admiral
Yeah.
being some other names, and it's tough to
Well,
say in our scene right now with how high the level is for everybody.
well, last time I did mention Saladin was bringing the heat. I will say Admiral is bringing the consequence this time. So
All right. Now you said you picked, okay, just so people know, okay? So
yeah.
last year I asked Slam who he thought was going to win. Now obviously he didn't know the player identities, and we just guessed a hero randomly for fun. I guessed Emperor in a Barrel, who lost in the semis. Slam guessed Saladin, who won the whole thing. So I told Slam, if he picks the correct hero this time, something's up. That's a little suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I will say though, I don't know who I'm referring to, but there is one player that I know of that likes to include a mill as a part of their wall, and I will leave it at that.
Wait, is that happening right now, or are you just saying in general?
No, just saying in general. Yeah,
Wait a second. You can't just say there's one. That
that's a
that
big
leaves
tease.
us asking more questions than we started
I
with.
know. What have I done?
Okay. All right. Well, Man at Arm opening here. 4 of them for John the Fearless. And a dock behind this. I think this is truly one of the only civilizations where you could afford to do all of this, Slam.
Yeah, and Laloy has not even spotted the barracks yet from John,
Ooh.
and he's just putting down a tower right away. I think he's just assuming that Japanese is going to come forward, do something a little bit aggressive.
Or even just the galley opening would be really tough against this.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So I think, now granted, people have typically scouted it, but I think if you've played a lot of practice games on these maps, and I know that Loloy probably has, he knows the weakness of going scouts is that he could be man-at-arm galley rushed, and so his is just going for scouts. It's actually really good game sense. If this was Arabia, on Arabia we tend to know what to do where, so he's experienced.
Yeah, I just have to quickly point out, John barely saved his Vild near the dock
Ooh.
from Laloy.
All right, I put that on the highlights to look back on since we missed it, but quick wall there. All right, so weak villager, and it is alive, and that's got to make you feel down in the dumps if you're Laloy. You're down 2-1, and then you don't get that Vil snipe. Like, come on.
Yeah, the 4-man-at-arms from Japanese it's really scary because those things, there's their attack rate, and there's 4 of them. Scouts, you need a lot of them, or you just have to skip it and go straight for a range.
Ooh, a dock now for Laloy, and it's a dock block, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of part of the wall there. And so we'll see some fire ships come out, and now we see a range for Laloy to try and get a few units out here to deal with these pesky men-at-arms.
Yeah, those are going to be quite tricky still. He doesn't quite have the military for it yet. Those 3 scouts are just, okay, good thing. I got worried there for a second he was even going to attempt to engage there.
Yeah, you know what I like about the man-at-arm play, though, is look at what John the Fearless has been able to do. You've got farms already, you've got the lumber camps, you just had time. And that's what the man-at-arms bought him. So the Spearmen even there getting another hit, but you do have 4 scouts for Laloy. They're heading towards this ring area around the TC. There's not too many Spearmen around.
Yeah, this could be good for Laloy, and this is exactly what you need to do if you open with scouts. If you can't fight that initial man-at-arms army, you just look past it, go somewhere else.
Yep.
Leave your range to deal with that.
Okay, weak villagers around there somewhere. I will look for it. Again, that Spearman. I don't know if it's the same one, but the Japanese Spearman coming in clutch here. It'd be so nice if Laloy could get an archer or 2 over here, right? But it's going to take a long way to get any range units here.
What's also nice about Japs too is I know there's a lot of small woods out in the open, but because your lumber camps are so cheap, I mean, maybe you don't need to rush to the middle that quick. You just constantly build a new lumber camp.
It's certainly the safe approach, right, to do that. And by the way, I see some people typing F. We're having absolutely no problems on our end, so maybe a Twitch issue or wherever you're at. Maybe your neighbor's Wi-Fi is no longer working. But John the Fearless, a little late to react here, but does react. But we'll see a villager and take it.
Yep. That's a nice pick there.
All right, villager down there, Slam.
I don't know what happened, but I'm seeing a 4. Maybe I might have missed something. I'm seeing a 4-vil difference between these 2.
It's been consistent throughout the series for Laloy. Idle TC.
Yeah, that's It's quite a bit, and I thought maybe one of them has wheelbarrow or something, but
No,
I don't think
just
so.
idle TC, 50 seconds. I mean, that combined with a few other things.
Yeah.
I see pretty much at this point when it comes to the stream, I guess we're just going to have to encourage people fresh because I'm not dropping any frames. So we'll see. Sorry if people can hear me or buffering, but Loloy's army comp working really well right now against the Man-at-Arms.
Yeah. I'm really liking John's position. He's got a lot more farms out. His eco's looking pretty nice.
Okay, and here you go. You've got the Man-at-Arms. I still like time, but I think what's worrying now for John is if Loloy gets to his land eco. Granted, a lot of the scouts have just gone down, and that was honestly poor micro from Loloy. Only be around with just one scout.
Yeah. His chance now to go forth with those archers, and he's heading south. I don't know if he's trying to go for a sneak, expecting something.
A little surprised that John went 2 docks and has only shown us a fire galley or 2. It's a surprise to me. But then again, maybe he felt like there was no value in investing. And he's going to add a range now at home. And both players inching towards resources for Castle Age.
Yeah, and now it makes sense to me why Loloy's heading south. I mean, the last thing he wants to do is, you know, showcase a nice demo hit in the middle.
You don't want to be on the highlight reel? Is that it?
that's all he's thinking about right now.
Okay, that's funny. Well, John the Fearless finally with some TC idle time, 2 seconds. What a noob, right? What a noob. But it is amazing how good with that. Viewers are not some of the viewers are missing out some of the action here, but I think we're fine, and I just have to apologize and move on here, Slam. And John the Fearless with an instant reaction runs away from the berries.
That gold from John, it's incredible.
I know, maybe, but that came back to maybe the poor transition. Like, made the docks, but didn't end up making the Navy, and just now has an archer range, so it makes sense.
Yeah, maybe he got, that's true. Maybe wasn't too sure as to what unit composition he wanted to go, was going docks, realized maybe he didn't need them.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question to you, Slam.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this, and I'm just continuing to be impressed by the level here. And we've mentioned a lot of names. How... Okay. So if you had to give a number, like top 2, top 3, top 4, whatever, how high is John the Fearless, and how high is Loloy?
I would say John the Fearless I'm seeing as a top 4.
Okay.
And Loloy's still really good. I mean, no. I mean, obviously the top is, I want to say him as a, top 6 or so.
Okay.
He's losing, of course. I mean, if he wins, then obviously at the
top
end
4.
I want to say, oh, he's top 4. John is top 6.
Duh.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll go with top 4, and we'll go with top. But it's tough to say. Maybe Loloy is a top 4, maybe even a top 3. But he's just a little flustered.
Listen, I don't want to get people too up in arms, and I don't want to look like too big of an idiot later. But when Nilly said that he thought that we had seen Viper and Hera already, before you coming in here, I didn't really agree. I thought maybe Viper, but no one stood out to me as Leary, and no one stood out to me as Hera. John the Fearless, big standout for me. Feels like either Hera or Leary, and Loloy is really, really keeping pace here. So if it's keeping pace, there's only a few names on my list that I think could surprise John the Fearless, if I'm correct on that, and which means we've got an insane round 1 match on our hands. Yeah.
And what's so strange about this game, the fact that you just mentioned to Loloy is creeping back here, is John the Fearless has had such control of the map and sort of advantage, but there's been little transition into any sort of army, and he's had a long time, and it's set him back quite a bit now.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything on land right now, so his approach is go full water, which honestly is not awful, but also going land isn't awful either, as we see Indian cav archers from Loloy.
Yeah, it's very strange. There's all these galleys and prep for the sea here, or the marsh, but Loloy has a dock and just hasn't built a single thing. He's just chilling.
All right, good demo incoming, it looks like. And yes, solid demo there for John the Fearless, but you've got the crossbows over here. That's a TC that's going to be denied. John the Fearless is not getting that TC up.
Wow, this is so bizarre to me. I mean, I thought John had this in the bag 10 minutes ago.
Hey,
Now
does he
there's a huge.
notice? He's trying to pull villagers away that are being focused
Wow.
down. That was a huge loss there, Slam, and big eco lead now for Leloy. But what does Leloy do on water? That's a real danger.
Yeah. Yeah. Good question. I don't know.
Yeah, it's complicated map, right? And it's another approach where, or another situation where I don't even know what's best personally, Slam.
But even if you just look at the left TC Aloy, like I know the woods are not that efficient, but there's still quite a bit of wood there. Like this is enough to carry you. If you get another good TC down in between the three of them, you're gonna have cheap vills. Even though Leloy may have to give up the center, man, he's caught a goal. Oh man.
Oh, and Ballistics is in, Slam. Those villagers are not going to survive. And the GG's called. We're going to game 5.
What in the world?
I just got chills, people. I just got chills. It's what this game does to me. Oh, man. Well, the good thing for John the Fearless is that it will be on his map. After winning Game 1 Arabia the way he did, they've just gone back and forth here.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I can handle this. Did I even make highlights here? Let's see. There was one moment. It was probably a crappy moment knowing me, but let's see what it was. And, it was the quick wall moment. Let's see it. Viper confirmed? Maybe? Let's actually rewatch it. Let's watch it in reverse. Zoom in on the action here. All right. This is high level stuff. Oh yeah. Quality. Oh man. Quality, and quality, Slam. I bet you viewers are leaving the stream right now. I like how people actually, like, I say Viper confirmed, right? Because like Viper was probably the OG like wall in villages, but there's so many players that can do that. And I don't think you can look at that. I don't think you can look at that and say it's one player in particular. It's not like there's a different way of saving your villagers, people. Like,
Let's
God.
face it, if there's going to be amazing play, the first thing the name that's going to be dropped is the favorite player in your head. It's amazing player. Oh, Leary. Okay, yeah, Leary, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of it still makes me think it's Hera. I just make a joke. It's so funny if people are like, no.
Yeah.
But that's what Hidden Cup's all about, Slam. So.
Yeah. T90, I want to make another bold prediction while it's kind of continuing from my previous prediction.
Sure.
I don't even need to see the 5th game. It's fine. I'm set. I actually think Jordan is back. Okay, he's back. I think
Jordan the
Jordan's
Fearless?
Leloy. No, I actually think Jordan's Leloy.
Okay.
And I actually think John maybe Hera.
Okay.
And here's the other bold prediction. Leloy's going to win this next game.
Ooh. Oh.
I'm sweating.
That is so bold. That is like,
yeah.
That's not even bold, Slam. That's like Comic Sans, dude. Like that is.
I know.
Forget bold. Wow. Okay, so
I had to do it.
So not only do you think Jordan's taking it to the 5th game against Hera, but you think Jordan's gonna win? Ooh. Okay. The next 2v2 World Cup, Hera's gonna have.
If you're listening to this, listen. It's just for fun, all right?
The next 2v2 World Cup, I think you're on the bench and Dave is going to play with Hera. That's all I'm saying.
Crap, yeah, I know.
Rip Canada, am I right? All right, so game 5 Slam, let's go. And let's see what the Civ picks are. We know a lot about this map. It is probably one of the best maps in Hidden Cup history, too. I'm sure viewers can hear the sounds. I'm sure viewers are ready. And so am I, Slam. And we are now in about 15 seconds. And I'm going to be real quick with talking about things here, because I think with the stakes and the level, it would make sense to try and get some weird edge by going forward with your scout, right? Because while the boars are on the backside and the sheep are on the backside here, you're still really close to the enemy.
Yeah. And I'm seeing Celts here as well, which seems like, it's actually a common pick. I'm seeing it quite often on this map.
Yep.
And I do recall I think it was a Hidden Cup where Viper had played Celts on this map. I think it was the finals. I might be wrong, but I just recall a Viper game going Celts on this map, and instead of building the early dock, he went for the early militia, and then he denied the fish. And I think it may have set a meta there. I'm not sure.
Tato and Doubt were the ones that set that meta in Hidden Cup 3. It was Tato and Doubt. Okay. It was Princess Yodit and Joan the Maid. Now, you're going to have to clarify when you say Viper and finals, because there have been 3 Hidden Cup finals, and Viper's been in every one. So,
you also
have to make sure you're more specific when using that name. But yeah, man, I think Celts can be strong here, but
Mhm.
I have yet to see Britons picked, and I kind of like it because we know that John the Fearless has sick micro. We know that
Mhm.
John the Fearless is able to macro well behind archers. So why go against that playstyle?
Yeah, yeah. And Celts, what is their options for later in the game? I do recall the game against, I think it was Gonzalo versus Pope.
Yep,
I think it was this map. I think Pope
yep.
was Celts, and Gonzalo, was Japanese. And I did remember a moment in that game where I thought, what can Celts do at this moment?
Yeah.
Um, so there might be some struggles with Celts later on in the game.
Yeah, docking is a big part of this map, and if you dock one side, you can't cross over this piece to the other. But you could also see players even choose to make a mill in the middle to take the fish. That's
Yeah.
that's what Tato and Doubt started, and ooh, nice little moment here as Leloy gets 2 hits on John the Fearless's scouts. John the Fearless actually cannot scout Leloy's base. There's actually 0 elevation on this map, so you can't even get a hill. You've just got to run on home.
Yeah. And I guess we'll see a barracks from Leloy.
I think this is going to be a pre-mill drush as well, Slam. You actually see
Yeah.
the mill and some walls already for John the Fearless. Leloy
Yeah.
should dodge here, and Leloy runs away, realizing that the TC is close, of course, with fixed positions.
Yeah.
I
As for maps, I was gonna say that I guess gold is always spawning a little bit near the front, but I
Mhm.
think it's quite equal for both of them here.
Yeah, it's just the wood lines. Like the wood lines, honestly,
I
for
see.
both of them are really wacky. This is one of the weirder
Yeah.
ones. Like the wood lines are really close to the TC, but you always have other golds near the backside. So I think I would prefer Red's map because the wood
Yeah.
lines to the south allow for walling, but both players walling like crazy right now. Not even a barracks, not even a dock yet.
Yeah, interesting.
Hmm.
That is strange because usually by this point you're gonna see a dock down or barracks, anything.
There it
Nothing.
is. Yep, there it is. And this is more of a man at arm timing slam. This is not a drush. I
Yeah.
know a couple years ago you'd still see militia and delayed the feudal age, but I don't think so. We could see a very similar thing from Leloy here. It does not make sense to try and full wall your base and make no military, surely.
Yeah, this is really interesting because Leloy is adding more to wood right now.
Huh.
So and the way that he's walling in the back, it's almost okay. He's building a barracks now, but part of me was thinking, is he going to go for a fast castle here? Maybe even Huang rush him?
I would love to see a Huang Rush just to hear you describe what goes through your mind when you face
Oh.
it, Slam.
Oh man, as long as it's not me who's on the other side, we're good.
Oh man, the reaction from Leloy, paying close attention to the scout, sees the militia, and that means I was incorrect. And we see militia, and this is just a drush. And I think for Leloy, we're going to see just walls. I mean, this is so... It's been so consistent where the games have developed into complete different beasts, Slam. The Islands game was so
Yeah.
unique. The Bay game was so unique.
Yeah.
This is really cool. Wait a second. Is there a... Slam in the south. Is there a tree to the right of that?
The south.
It's more like the west, I suppose, of Leloy's base.
I really can't tell.
There's got to be a tree there, right?
You would think, 2-2, the stakes are high here, that maybe you'd click on the other side and check, but
Okay.
you know what? Before he put down that palisade, I'm sure he would have seen the vision there.
Yeah,
right?
I think
And
so
it would
too.
It would
Yeah.
be very strange just to do one.
So is this Drush Fast Feudal? Drush Flush, as we call it sometimes? If you go into Archers, it almost looks like John's flirting with that idea. But no, adding farms now. So this is Drush Fast Castle, and I think if it's Drush Fast Castle, I'd prefer to have Britons because they get all that extra Archer range in the next stage.
Yeah, I agree too. I'd be a little bit concerned on Eloy's position here. Being up against Brits, as soon as they get the archers out with the extra range, and your Celts, I don't know.
Okay, better engagements all throughout Dark Age, though, for Leloy. And so perhaps Leloy could snowball this into some positives.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe the lack of a dock is just simply comes down to the stakes of the game and how they don't want to take any risks?
Maybe it's hard to say, and like even the Bay game seems strange too. It's almost like they're trying to predict the other player's move and they're going to do something else.
Yeah.
It's going back and forth. There's a lot of mind games going on, and maybe that's why we're seeing some interesting ways of playing.
That's always been, with his change from losing round 1 of Hidden Cup 2 to getting to the finals of Hidden Cup 3. We're talking about a player like Harris. We just saw someone predict it is indeed him. His MO has been play extremely safe. He's for the most part sticking to some type of meta, fighting behind walls with macro, micro, and honestly here I think John the Fearless will be very happy to have lost the Militia because the Scout has higher HP, and Loloi is not accomplishing anything with the Militia anyways here, right?
Yeah, there's not much he can do now. Maybe just annoy the Palisades at some point.
I don't think either player will have the resources to go up to Castle Age when they get up, dude. This is, this is very interesting.
This is strange, yeah. I mean, John's resources are looking a little. Well, actually, maybe Loloi may actually be able to get it because this feudal's a little bit later. He's going up with more vills.
Yep, true.
He might be able to climb to it, to what he wants.
Adding a dock there, which is something John the Fearless just scouted. And now Loloi will lose the scout. So that hurts big time. A good move from John.
Yeah, John is still a little bit far away from castle. He's getting a blacksmith up. Looks like he'll still go for the fast castle, but he'll just creep into it a little bit slower.
Well, if whoever hits Castle Age faster that's the most important thing here, you could argue. Because the Britain player can't take advantage of any of their big bonuses until Castle Age. So if this is even, I think John the Fearless will take it, but having not clicked up yet makes you feel really, really weird.
I wonder if now that Loloi has just spotted the one tile of gold, he'll be thinking, okay, that's probably his main gold. Maybe this is a position to set up an early siege workshop, and there's a range here.
Well, I think that's actually a great point, but you also have to remember that Loloi's on his back golds currently.
Okay.
So he will probably recognize if he doesn't see many golds outside the walls that there's going to be a follow or like a gold to retreat to, I suppose. And the Castle Age times are identical for game 5.
Neck and neck.
And a stable for Loloi. So you mentioned Huang. It's very common to see, stable, few knights, siege workshop, few scorpions, few rams to pressure big time.
So Loloi is dropping a second dock. So it looks like he's just going to, maybe go for a boom, some TCs, and just try and control middle.
Can you boom though when you invest this heavily into Water Slam? Like, I guess the
Not
logic.
really. But the one thing he's got going for him is that he is Celts. I just don't know what else he would want to accomplish by taking middle. I really don't know what his plan is.
Yeah, he's probably worried. But let's see if he could spot this here. He's sending the galley over towards the gold to check and actually sees the archers. So he'll like that. And he knows the archers are not attacking him now, which is a big plus.
Mm-hmm. And if you actually look at Loloi's weak points, he's got house walls in the right spot. He's got that mini palisade in the back, which John could get to at some point and get through there. But it's looking pretty good.
Yep, you got a scout attacking the wall now just to see, are your archers still there? Thank you for letting me know. Now he sees the gold. And now that is just so frustrating if you're John the Fearless.
Yeah, that is within perfect range. Well, I guess both golds are,
Right. So, again, you could back up, and it's easy with Britons to just drop a cheap TC. So you can still take gold, but you're going to lose your main gold.
Yeah.
Twitch is just not having it right now, apparently, as we see 3 TCs for Loloi. So, greedy boom. I think this is a little excessive for the town centers right away.
Yeah, I mean, I was suspecting a boom, but 3 TCs right away? No, I was not guessing that. But his TC positions, especially the one right south of his main, is a good spot because that's one angle on which, Britons could be annoying. Oh, look at the center.
Big moment. I don't think John the Fearless was expecting there to be a galley on the other side. And now the knight is here as well to kite a little bit. And now, oh,
Yikes.
this is disaster for these crossbowmen.
Yeah.
You can't get away with these now. Brutal.
And where's he gonna go? Left or right? He can't go anywhere. He's just gonna have to go back into the marsh.
Yeah, he's kind of screwed either way here, Slam. And say goodbye to your crossbowman, and now Leloy. I still feel like the balance isn't quite there with the TCs, right? You've got 3 TCs, but not the farm count to keep them running.
Yeah.
But still, you know, at least keeping the Britons at home, which is certainly a success in my eyes.
So, I haven't played this map yet, but the ships can't go over that little dirt path in the middle, can they?
Correct. They cannot.
So I guess that's what John was moving out. He's going, you know, there's probably a galley or two. I'm just going to walk down the middle. I'll get over there. And it's going to take a long time. The demo won't hit me. But yeah, it worked completely against him.
Yeah. And now Leloy's just going to try and track this. And below, when it comes to the farm numbers, and my goodness. Well, hello to people who watch this on YouTube later, by the way, because some people might be rewatching this. But get some F5s in chat if it's working for you, viewers. It is 45 villagers versus 41. The stakes are going to feel like a final to even the players, Slam.
And Britons, I mean, one of their advantages is the early crossbows. Invested in Bodkin, and it hasn't paid off.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
Celts Leloy's not doing too bad here at all.
All right, so Siege Workshop for Leloy. We'll see if Leloy reacts to this. There's still potential for John the Fearless to maybe get some picks behind the town center here, Slam.
Yeah.
Try your best.
And that TC's in a good spot. I mean, he might get a vill or two.
He's using the crossbows to outrange war galleys right now. That's actually so smart.
Oh, true, yeah.
Actually so smart. I guess you go Scorpion at home, and this is just a game of mental strength at this point. You boom it out, do your absolute best there, and what do you think? And you turn, because I think you get the siege, Britons have to worry, but you're a long way from that, are you not?
Yeah, I think Celts play here. He's got the galley control. Next thing you'll want is to drop a castle somewhere out in front, and you know, maybe force rams, onagers, you know, everything that Celts is good at.
I don't know what to do as far as the quality right now on Twitch. Like, I'm comfortable. It is a recorded game pausing right now. Slam, let's just do a quick pause. Let's just do a quick pause, and let me just hear. This is a live show after all. I want to hear status update from some of the mods here. Again, this isn't anything on my end. And welcome everybody to the main screen. I'm comfortable switching over to another server if need be, but I'm going to get an update real quick. Yeah, I'm just hearing that we lag a little again. Slam, you want to wait like maybe a minute or two and see? The thing is, it's tough for me to know. I'm dropping 0 frames at this point. So, fine on my end. Could go offline. I really don't want to, though. It might just be Twitch as a whole right now, so. Okay. Thank you for the updates, by the way, chat. Thank you for all the subs, too. Great time to think about what you've done. You've subbed and you're giving Twitch money. Okay, I appreciate it. I like how there's one guy who's just spamming, like, setting in your OBS, as if with 35,000 people, I'm going to trust one person to just start changing things. I'm a little hesitant to go offline because, you know, you go offline, you come back, it might be worse, right? Okay, it's on Twitch's side. I could tell people are a little bit behind jokes. Man, am I funny. That was 20 seconds ago. Continue here, people. I think we have to continue. Apparently, we're continuing to lag. I mean, Slam, we've got to do it, right? I think we're going to have to. Yeah. Sorry, everybody. Like, the thing is, some people are not lagging, too. So where you're at, unfortunately. So I would suggest you just move. Everything you have right now, move in the next hour to a different country. You ready, Slam?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. And we're back in business here. And now, are you kidding me? Capture Age is going to... Capture Age? Well, hold on a second. I could get into the game. There we go. All right, thanks, Capture Age. And we're back in business. It's very close game here, Steri. And it feels like both players taking as little risk as possible.
Yeah. And Scorpions at home for Laloy, I think, should get the job done to clear off those crossbows.
Yeah, it's good patient micro from John the Fearless, but it's also good patient micro from Laloy to repair the Scorpion. Kind of running out of space, both players, and eventually they're going to need to expand. That's what I keep thinking of.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing to not forget about too is that middle island with a lot of gold. I know there's golds on the side, which is great, but the nice thing about getting a castle down right in the middle is just more control of the map and the golds. That's the bonus you get as well.
I think it might go as John the Fearless just booms to Imp sitting at home. Laloy tries to cast defensive castle from John the Fearless or Hera the Fearless and tries to treb that back from working out from home. I see a villager for Laloy that's probably to get vision in that corner there long term, and we even see a on the left side.
Yeah, and you just mentioned too about spreading out, and that's exactly what Laloy's doing. He's getting some nice scouting with the Scorpions in the south. He's getting a TC on the left. Bill's going north. There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, really does see it all here, Slam, and can't help but think back to Tato, a name we've mentioned, who's played so good with Celts over the years, and I remember him sneaking villagers into corners, getting vision. Maybe Doubt comes to mind when you think of Outposts or Doubt Posts, and I just keep coming back. Or Leary as John the Fearless.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it just fits their MO to sit at home, boom it out with archers, drop a defensive castle, and go Imperial.
Yeah, and just being in John's position though, it is, even though the Veil count is similar, John may have 7 more Veil, whatever it may be. This is so annoying not having that front. The galleys just being out in front. You start getting more and more cramped as the game.
I think though, it's realistic for John the Fearless to get map. Like, he can use his micro to take out the galleys on this side and then drop a forward castle, and then suddenly water can't stop you. So I think with the faster Imperial, which is eventually going to come, the extra range that Britons get, it's not easy as Celts to delay over the next couple minutes. And oh! There was a huge attack ground slam. How did that happen?
Yeah. Yikes.
Oh, man. He's thinking, I guess, and he patrolled right into it there. Ouch. I guess on the bright side for John the Fearless, he will be able to heal up those weak crossbows. He's got a monk in there, so not the end of the world.
Yeah. And going back to the whole position thing too, I think the middle is just so important because going along those sides, it's just so inefficient. You can't actually gain much traction unless you have like 5 vills down there building a castle. You're building a bunch of military buildings. Yeah.
Sorry, Slim, just getting excited because I'm seeing +2 on the Knights, man. This is not something. As we see a split. Here we go. This is John the Fearless for you. No repair villager there either. Does he want to move out? The Knights are here, Slam. The Knights should clear up the Mangonels. I really like the Knight edition. Very smart.
I don't know how Laloy's going to respond to this. Maybe demo ship. That's all I see so far.
Okay.
And Laloy with the sneaky little being annoying.
A Knight? Dude, this is... If Max was in this tournament, I'd be saying the Max right now for Laloy. It's just sneaky villager, and that
Tina,
Knight runs in.
I think I lost you.
Oh, you good? Am I here?
You're muted or you dropped.
What? Can you hear me? Hello?
Oh,
Viewers?
you're back. Hey.
Oh,
hey,
okay.
I didn't
Dude,
hear you for a second, yeah.
I was getting stressed, man. Here comes a demo, but yeah, the demo's not going to stop the castle, so.
Yeah.
Slam, what are we witnessing here? Obviously, a few I think the viewers starting to connect again, which is good to see. What on earth is this quality? This is insane.
Yeah, and John's doing a really good job. He's up to Imp now. He's got his castle up north, and he's about to switch over to C, which he needs to do.
Right. So Galleon, possibly. You see War Galley on the way. What's the thought process of your Celts? Do you just avoid the middle area altogether and just try and push from the sides then, I guess, and use some mobility?
It's starting to look that way. And, like, if I were to push this the other way, it does look like the right side of John the Fearless would be a great spot to push. He's got the main gold. He's got farms and TCs there. Yeah.
I guess for now, John the Fearless, he's going to probably prioritize middle control and go with trebs and crossbows if he's got any remaining. These crossbows flee. Lack of ballistics here does hurt, though, and you can only use the war galleys for so long. I think now you need a castle here if you're Leloy. Castle or a few scorpions, and yeah, there's the castle foundation just to protect that side.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really good castle. I just don't know what Leloy is going to do next. I mean, he's going to lose water here soon, and then looks like he is queuing up Woad Raiders in one castle, though.
Okay, so Woad Raiders, and you see John the Fearless getting supplies. Now, I don't know, it's a big tournament now. We've moved along from Red Bull Wololo, and I don't know if you should be talking too soon for this reference. But there's been a lot of jokes made, even from Hera himself, about going into like the infantry line in situations where maybe doesn't make the most sense, which he did in the last big tournament. And is it the correct play to go supplies to go champion with Britons against elite Woad Raider? Like, was it not better to go for Arbalest?
It's a good question, because sometimes I've seen mass Woads mixed in with Rams do a great job against
Arbs? Yeah.
Arbs, yeah. I think it just depends on the situation. You know, do you have castles that will help back up your Arbs or not? But I think Woads mixed with Rams could be something that's underestimated.
Okay. Certainly can't underestimate the macro for both players right now. Both players over 120 villagers. There is a castle going up for John the Fearless in the middle. He's just easing his way into this. He realizes he's not going to be able to beat Leloy with one big swing like he has tried, and in some ways, you know, has succeeded too. But the crossbows were upgraded. If you get to champion and Arbalest, I love it. I suppose for John the Fearless, he's got to choose something right now.
Yeah. And I think Leloy is just accepting the fact that he's going to lose the water, of course. So he's planning something in his mind, and I'm not too sure what it is yet. For now, it's just mass. Oh no, he's going back on docks.
Going back on docks. Leloy going back on docks. There you go, Slam. Docks on the way. Heavy demo! Oh my god, is this Tato? Heavy demo could honestly be sick.
Oh man, my bold prediction is slipping away every second.
I don't even remember. You've made so many predictions in this series. I don't even remember what it was.
If I start feeling like I'm failing on the first one, the key is just to make several others. So in the end, it's you don't even know what I said anymore.
That's true. Let's get some heavy demos in chat, because the thing is about demos is they could take out even castles if you get enough of them on this map. And Elite Woad Raiders will now take out the crossbows in the back, no problem. So, a little awkward. Great micro from John the Fearless, but I'm just waiting to see John the Fearless expand a little bit to the sides here, Slam. He has done so. At least he's wide open on the right side. He hasn't really expanded.
I'm really excited to see how these heavy demos turn out. I don't think John is expecting an army of heavy demos.
No, I don't think so either. And with the Woad Raiders, at least the siege is going to die. We know that much. It's just how good will the Galleons look?
Yeah, they almost look like trade cogs to me.
They do. They do, Slam. And here come the heavy demos, and they're on the move, ladies and gents. And the Trevs, they're forced to just go down. They don't really sink here. You know, the water's not deep enough.
Yeah.
But how can you push that castle with anything if heavy demos are out on water?
I don't know. This is why I'm confused as to what Leloy is planning to do next. I think he needs to go for a side attack somewhere.
Yeah.
He needs to change the focus somewhere else, and then maybe reattempt in the middle with something.
I think that Leloy needs to Woad Raid the right, and he's actually doing it now.
Yeah.
The only reason I would know to do it in this very moment, Slam, is because I've seen the best of the best do it for many years. Just get a lead somewhere, and then switch over. And now you're seeing it, and I'm starting to see John the Fearless. I mean, he's got resources banked, but he's starting to lose some big control in crucial areas.
Yeah, and Woad Raiders they're quite a great raiding unit, and John just didn't really have the two-handed swordsmen or champions out at the right time, but he's getting them now. But
if you get enough Galleons, can't you just snipe the demos before they're getting close? It is an expensive investment.
Yeah, it really is. That's why I'm a little unsure about them.
And look now, you see the two-handed swordsman killing the Woadies. Now that's a good trade for the Woad Raiders. And also the castle on the right for John the Fearless does protect that area and has also cleared there as well. It's 50 military for John the Fearless. The demo ships are exciting, but they can't get in close.
Oh, and there's wow, this castle from Leloy is crazy, but he's gonna get it up.
Is
I
this
don't know, do you
Leloy
see it there?
recognizing that he's going to need a Treb follow-up maybe to push the right side as he's going to lose the left?
It's looking like it, and the thing is, as soon as John sees this, he can just pop out a couple Trebs and take it out.
Well, can he though, Slam? Because if it's just Woad Raiders versus two-handed swordsman, I think if anything, both players are about to lose a side.
Oh, I completely forgot about the fact that he can't bring his navy across. It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
brilliant. Okay.
Yeah.
Small detail.
Castle deleted in the north, and so John the Fearless is going to get that stone back.
Wow.
There's just
okay.
not enough demos here, Slam, to get big hits on these galleons, at least from what I could see.
Yeah.
I could see Woad Raiders as the meat shield, maybe. Maybe some rams, too. I see some capped ram there, but no siege ram yet. As Woad Raiders are taking big fights, and both players are fighting for their tournament life in the round of 16 at 190 population.
Yikes. Leloy tried some sort of... He's attacked... Oh, he's getting some massive demo hits, actually.
Not bad, not bad. More demos coming in, and oh my god! It was huge, Slam. And now you've got Trebs on the other side, but the Treb needs to unpack and roll away, and both players are focusing so heavily.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Even though you might send out 15 demos, if 12 of them don't work, but you get 1 or 2 in there, like, it's big news.
I think Siege Ram's really it's needed, because if you get a meat shield there, then that's all the Galleons will attack, right?
Yeah, and at first, Leloy sent out Woad Raiders just, to try and get them to attack the Woads there initially.
This is crazy now. Remember, there's so much gold in the middle, so John the Fearless will not have any issues when it comes to gold. John the Fearless has no issues when it comes to anything really with these resources.
Right, a demo hit on the champs.
Is it going to come in? Is it going to come in? Boom! A huge demo shot, Slam, and that's only going to continue. But, I see a problem for Leloy in that he's lacking production of Woads when he needs them. Producing out of 15 barracks is a whole lot faster than producing out of a few castles.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, God, how was
That's
that Treb
incredible.
saved? How was that Treb saved? And now we have Rams with demos in the middle area. Heavy demos coming in! And getting hits. Worthy of a highlight as well. Honestly, I just need to hotkey everything from the last couple moments, Slam. But I'm just thinking about the lack of gold long-term for Leloy if this continues.
Yeah, Leloy has to get something done sooner than later, and it probably has to happen on the right.
But doesn't John the Fearless have the bulk of his eco on the right? Look at all the farms behind there. If he loses that area, that could be game over.
And just take a look at the resources from John, and they're looking really good. I mean, yeah, he's going to be... Yeah, Leloy's got to act on something quick.
This is not the first time I've ever seen a game like this turn into extreme post-imp where someone has control of the middle gold but then can't expand elsewhere, Slam. So it's a give and take situation. Obviously, if you could cross over with Navy, then you'd be fine, or you'd be feeling fine. But I think we're seeing a shift here from Leloy, who is realizing he needs a bit more on this other side, and he is about to complete the Siege Ram upgrade. So that's huge.
Yeah, and then after that, though, it looks like he's trying to get some more docks on the left.
Yeah, he's unsure, Slam. He's unsure, because he could stop this castle if he spotted it. And he might see it now, but now he's heading back over. And by the way, 25 idols, that's a big deal for Leloy, because that could be 25 pop space that's a military. Also, that dock had a demo at 70%, and now the demo won't come out. Crucial seconds, possibly, for John the Fearless to be able to take out these Trebs and defend this position.
I think I was going to say he's got to win that fight, but it's not looking very good.
Oh, but the demo, Slam, the demo's good, but it's so worth it for John the Fearless. He'll take it.
Whoa! Did you just see that? On the left, the castle, John the Fearless lost every single vill in that castle to 1 demo.
Okay, I looked at the other demo. There's too many demos to look at, so I'll hotkey that too.
Right where the demo hit was in the perfect spot where it just grabbed every single vill. There was about 11, 12 vills on there.
Is this Tato, man? I don't know what to think right now. Sell that wood after guilds here. Leloy's going to get a bunch of gold after selling that wood. This game is nowhere close to finishing right now.
Yeah, and Leloy does have 3 relics.
Man, dude. 3 relics to 2, though, Slam.
Yeah.
I think it's just, right now, John the Fearless has this unbreakable defense with castles everywhere. Castles in the middle now, castles in his base. He's got enough resources to work with here. He's just slowly pushing back, or pushing in this case, but the Celt Siege Ram's no joke, Slam. And
Yeah,
will the castle
this
even
is a
stay up?
chance. I mean, I think he's really got to make a move on this end. I mean, there's still a lot of gold left for John in the middle.
Big demo hits there. Of course, World Raiders will die. Are Celts better in post-imp than Britons? This is the question we're trying to answer here, and it's almost looking like it's an emphatic yes. Look at the villagers in the middle. If they don't have protection, John the Fearless could lose this right here.
And I'm actually shocked at how well Wodes do against Galleons. It's actually really, really good.
Yeah, it
How
is,
well they do.
Slam. Now, you've got John the Fearless making a push. He's got to take out some castles, too. And you now have, I almost am saying hair out of instinct. I'm so sorry. John the Fearless, and watch me be wrong on that later, adding more galleons and more champions. But he did lose important ground here.
Yeah, and it would be nice if Loloi had just a bit extra stone in the bank. He could plant a castle right now on the island, but unfortunately, he's a little low on the stone count there.
Yeah, I think they probably have mined through the stone at this point, except for the stone in the north. John the Fearless could take that. But can John the Fearless keep the middle area? If more demos swoop in here,
Yeah.
I just don't see these rams being stopped. This is without Fuhrer Keltska, by the way, I believe.
Yikes.
That's a big upgrade that's missing. But it's still Siege Ram, and we've been saying for years, Slam, Britons die to Siege Ram, massive demo.
Wow, another good demo hit.
But now the castle's going down for Loloi in the middle. And so he could start losing economy too. Which side is more important?
Man, I think I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I still think John is in an okay position.
That was the wrong time to say that, Slam. Wrong time to say
I
that.
know,
But,
I
you know, I understand why you're thinking it. I just noticed something, though.
What's that?
He's got like, 9 on gold. So if this gets to a point where he doesn't have gold,
John. Oh, yeah.
he's out. He's struggling with the relic situation, right?
Yeah, good
so
point.
I think it honestly comes down to who holds the left over the next 5 minutes, because Loloi's almost out of gold too. They need that middle area, and whoever gets it might win.
Yeah, you're definitely right there. It looked like I think everything's going to be focused in the center area now.
Oh god. Oh god, the champions. Oh god, the champions. Oh god, the champions. Okay, the demos are actually going towards the Treb.
Yeah.
That was underwhelming.
Those champs. I know John, after seeing those, he's thinking, okay, these champs, like, I gotta watch out here. I gotta watch out big time.
All right. Now, I see supplies coming in for Loloi, so he's thinking about going for champions as well. But I think it's his precious time for John the Fearless to be taking that gold. And he tracks the Wotes. I don't think he could be raided to death right now, so well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But the Ram Go is really what you need, and now you see John the Fearless making Britain like Cav. This is a great play.
Yeah, I mean, at least for Britons, if the gold is getting low, they can start spamming, light cavalry. Whereas for Celts, you're out of gold. What do you have now?
I think the fact that John was able to take out so many castles from Loloi matters with the Woad Raider production, but also the protection. Like, look at all the exposed areas in the farming eco. I suppose it's not great for either, but even the left side now, the champion's hitting eco. I wonder, though, if this is a classic case where it gives Loloi more pop space for military, and then he just ends up taking the middle.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that Loloi keeps scraping away at building more military, and his gold keeps looking like it's going to hit 0 soon, but there's, he's holding on.
This is going to have to be his final go, Slam. It says he has 12 on gold. I think we're looking at the 12 right there. He actually has 800 left. Now, the champions, a lot of them are out of position for John the Fearless because they tried to clear up the raids. And he just noticed that. Like, shoot. I need to be in the middle right now.
There's a lot of demos.
I'd say be patient with the demos, maybe. Slam, do you think it's worth it to send, like, 20 lumberjacks to the middle to mine gold while you can if you're Loloi?
I think so, yeah. I mean, he's got a stockpile of wood.
Oh, God. Oh, Oh God! Oh man, this is gonna be crazy. John the Fearless sees it all. The demos go in, and the biggest explosions you'll probably see in Hidden Cup 4
No
come
way.
in. Huge. But is it enough? I feel like a lot of demos went down there.
You know what? All he needs, I think, is one good demo on the rest of these champs.
Maybe. With the Rams in the middle being caught out by Light Cav, John the Fearless
Yeah.
immediately runs away, and it's just like water presence. We even see Fire Ship now for Leloy, which is a little weird against Demo, as we see demos from both sides from Leloy. And running low
Man.
on gold is Leloy. John the Fearless has the gold. If he loses units, he should be able to make more of them. Unless he loses his farming eco, this is insane.
Yeah.
That's a good fight there for Leloy, I believe, anyways. Actually, the champion's winning that.
Yeah, and the champions are so cheap gold-wise
Yeah.
for John. And I do see some pikemen coming out now for Leloy. He's definitely saying, I'm not done yet. That even if I'm out of gold, this is the final game. I'm going to build anything I have.
Wow, dude, and these Rams will not take out that castle. Can't help but feel like Leloy, he's had some opportunities, Slam. It's been close. Maybe with just one or two demos more, one or two Rams more, could have even just won the game. It's incredible how
Yeah.
John the Fearless has played defense. And it's truly two of the best players in our game right here. There's no doubt in my
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah,
It's
I
just a
think this-
continuous cycle of this, too. I mean, this isn't going to end until... does John the Fearless run out of gold in the middle? Is that how this changes? I mean...
Well, I just think that Leloy is going to start struggling on getting the wool production out
Yeah.
shortly here, and he's just going to be down to Halbs. Oh, big demo hit on the champs.
Do you just go Halb and Demo at this point? Because Halberdiers against ships isn't too bad.
Yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea.
He is mining some gold now. This is something I would have liked to have seen a little earlier.
What in the world? And the score's creeping up again. What?
Oh,
I don't
God.
get it. It's incredible.
This is sick. Yeah, just switch to 80% Halb, 20% Demo, an extra 10% Rams, because you're going to need 110% to beat John the Fearless, I guess.
Yeah. Oh man.
this
And
is
Leloy
crazy.
is popped. Like he's pop capped still.
Yeah. But if you're popped, I feel like having ships... I mean, all you need to do is look at the KD right now. What? Never mind. I take it back. I feel like the Galleons, though, have killed so much in this game.
Yeah.
And they will continue to do so. So if you can
And-
just keep them alive, and even if you don't have gold income, you just snipe the demos. If Leloy doesn't have gold income, he can't make any more demos. Now you start to see a switch in the middle, and now Slam, it's 60 military versus 35. This might be
Yikes,
the end.
Yeah. This is looking like it. I can't see Leloy building enough here to push back on this.
Incredible series. Easily the best series of Hidden Cup 4 so far. Probably down to the fact we've had two massive names, and one might be crashing out here. You
Yeah,
know,
and just as we say this, Leloy is planting 2 siege workshops on the right, so he's thinking that he's like, no, I don't know, but sure, have the middle. I'm not done yet.
yeah, I mean, he shouldn't be, right? He's the
Yeah.
name. Whoever this player is, it's a player who has gone deep into many tournaments before and is matched up against someone just like him. So I
Yeah.
think we could possibly be seeing someone like Leary or the Viper or Mr. Yo or Tato. Those names come to mind for Leloy. It is more than realistic based on how the series has gone.
There goes my Jordan initial prediction.
I mean, maybe Jordan. You know, Jordan's probably, if Jordan's watching this right now and it's not him, he's probably has the
Yeah.
biggest grin on his face and he's like, "Thank you, Slam."
I know. Yeah, I know.
It's hard to think of other names just because of how good John the Fearless has played. And there
Yeah.
truly are only so many players of the 16 who could take it this far. Watch it be Barles. Watch it be Vivi. You know, we could be wrong, but it does make us confident, Slam. As we've seen, we're pretty familiar with the players in our game.
Yeah. And even though, you know, John's owned the middle, I think Leloy wants to do that one last attack. I mean, we keep saying one last attack, but, I mean, this has got to be the one last attack on the right.
Well,
Yeah.
your situation hasn't really changed. You're just further from getting to the gold in the middle. He hasn't had
Yeah.
gold in the middle, so If he could take out this side with Rams at Slam, I think this is honestly winnable. Just look at
You think
this.
so? Yeah.
I mean, the buildings are going down. There's no question in
Yeah.
my mind. Look at John the Fearless. Immediately getting architecture, he's worried.
Yeah.
But
I
so
think-
much of that eco is going to get ranged by Trebs and by Galleons in the middle. So that's the problem. You've got to expand elsewhere. Players are running out of space.
It looks a bit promising, but the thing that's going to be a bit discouraging for the Loi is when I go over to John's resource stockpile.
Yep.
It's we're looking at some deathmatch resources here.
Yeah, definitely. It should be able to make champions out of the 9 barracks here to eventually stabilize. Maybe could justify deleting a few lumberjacks or a few farmers just to get a bit more pop space out here.
But here's the thing too, John has 38 military into C, so
Yeah,
his numbers are going to be a little bit lower to defend what's going on the right.
but champion against mainly Halberdier champion will always
Oh
win.
yeah.
So that's the thing. It trades much better. And the Rams are very expensive. It seems like we're looking at Halberdier and a Woad Raider on the left side for the Lloyd. This is desperation mode, you know?
Yeah. Maybe Leloy is thinking, I'm going back to the whole relic thing again. He's got 3 relics, but he's probably underestimating the fact that, John has got a lot of gold.
John's just done such a good job protecting himself this entire game. Went into the boom approach and didn't have any water control. And we're thinking, what's he going to do? And then he ends up being okay and taking all the control. And now you see mass migration to take wood. I mean,
Man.
players don't resign in a game 5 in this situation until their pop is below
Yeah.
100, usually. So
Yeah.
I could see this going on for a while. But when you start to see the farms and the TCs go down the Treb, that's where you really start to think pop will drop.
So respectable though, from Leloy. Like he's now going up north to try and do another attack.
Yep.
So this is like what you're witnessing is someone who is just giving it their all. Final game, big tourney. I'm gonna give it every single shot possible.
Yeah. Incredible, man. We've had the highlights. At 7,000 army value for John. It just shows how much he's got in the field and how much it costed. How much it costed, guys. Up next, we're going to do basic math on stream. But he's almost finished with the gold in the middle, I suppose. But he's got 2,000 gold
Yeah.
in the bank. And he's not losing a side right now, Slam. He's stabilizing on either side. So it does feel like just a matter of time.
And I did. This completely slipped by me. The fact that Leloy has champs now. I know. I've always been thinking Halbs and Woad Raiders this whole time, but
Yeah.
boom, champs. Just saw them now.
All right, gets a conversion there with the Monk. Paying attention. Just falls back now. Has the res. Will queue up more champions. Really only the best players in the game, I'd say. And hang on as long as the Loy has been able to make these games look this good, which is why we love Age of Empires, guys. And I am, I say before I even know who the player is that I'm heartbroken that the Loy has gone down. I'm really looking forward to the fan vote, which we'll get to after this set. I want to know what viewers think, because there hasn't been a single Hidden Cup where the Viper has lost a set, right? But you look at the quality of John the Fearless, and then you think, if it is someone like Hera, there's only a few names that could take that many games off Hera, make this so competitive.
Yeah.
Well, do some people out there possibly think it's maybe the Viper, think it's maybe Leary? I don't know. And maybe John the Fearless isn't even Hera, though I think that's my easiest guess so far from what we've seen.
Yeah. I mean, I am leaning away from Leloy being the Viper, just because I've set myself on another name. Obviously, the one that I mentioned earlier.
Who did you mention earlier? Because you mentioned that you mentioned something earlier, but I forget.
Admiral, yeah.
Oh, you think Viper is Admiral? Gotcha. Okay.
I'm thinking, yeah.
All right. So, I'm still, as we're watching poor Leloy just come to grips with reality here. I'm still pretty set on a Tato guess here.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
seems, quite reasonable. Yeah.
Now, I still have a lot of question marks over the big names, and I'm assuming the next set's going to be a banger too, because I still think there's 1 or 2 out there we haven't seen of the top 8, but
Yeah.
It's just been incredible. The games today, the games yesterday, and it's just the first round.
Yeah, there's just so many things that throw me off. To like when I initially the main reason why I thought Jordan was just because of the Civ picks, but I mean, Mongols, Lithuanians, I think that's very common for other players to pick as well right off the bat.
Yeah.
So
Can we talk about how Loloi somehow has more farmers? Like, he's expanding farm eco like a madman. How do you have 70 farms?
and his pop, I don't think I've ever seen it drop below like 160 or
I
something.
know,
in a long
he still
time.
has 190 pop, but he's eventually just not going to have space. Yeah, and again, it's just a situation of John the Fearless will always have the better technology.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
And there's still gold in the middle. Like, there's still a stockpile of, I don't know, this could be 4,000 gold in the middle still.
No, we're talking as if this game is over, right? And I'd say the only way that Loloi wins this now is if it becomes a matter of no gold on the map, which is just insane.
Yeah.
It actually happened before, and it was Tato and Leary in a quarterfinal of Hidden Cup 3. That on my top 10 Hidden Cup games. It's a must rewatch. It was like second or third or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you lose the relic soon probably if you're in Loloi's position. So you lose out on gold there. You will eventually run out of wood to reseed farms. You're not pushing anywhere. There is a raid back here, but that again feels as though anyways should be dealt with.
Yeah. And there's some trebs coming in now to clear out that castle. Well, I think they actually might be able to pick those trebs off. Oh no, never mind. Army.
Yeah, army's there. It's just there every time. John the Fearless needs to be, right? And I think it's worth it to snipe the trebs because if you lose the castle, then you're going to get raided to death by anything.
Yeah.
Even a longbow in there. Yeah, Trebuchet still firing their slam. Loloi's pop is lower than we've seen in what feels like an hour. The eco number's high, but it's not going to be high much longer. This is where it all starts to end as John the Fearless crosses 30,000 score.
Yeah, and his resources are not going down anytime soon.
Castle stays up. All right, well, this game will go another 10 minutes.
There's hope. There's hope.
Oh, God. It's just like to watch him still try and farm and mass and just... You just... It sucks, man. It's like you just want John the Fearless to put him out of his misery. Really.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is Loloi just doesn't realize how much eco John has in the bank still.
Yep,
he may be thinking that John is, he's probably, gold might be running out. He's probably scraping down to 0 gold just like me. But no.
Well, we haven't had a single 3-0 in the quarterfinal. No, I lied. We had one 3-0 in the, not the quarterfinals, the round of 16. And one of them was today, with a big performer there. But all the other sets, we had a lot of 3-1s yesterday. We did have a 3-2. We had a reverse sweep yesterday. And then this will be, if I'm not mistaken, our second 3-2. And when you see a 3-2 slam and you know the level, you've got to think that it's two very big names up against each other. Especially this one. Like, this is easily the game in the tournament. But there's been other games, too, which have just been so sick.
Yeah, and who knows what's coming up with the other two, Philip the Good and Little John. And
Little John.
We know that John the Fearless is a very good player. So that's going to be exciting to see what's next, to see who's going to be up against John the Fearless.
Yeah, this is where it ends, I think. You see the desperation, you see the selling, you see the score. Loloi has been feeling for a while now. It is game over. He's starting to run out of wood, of all things, man. Again, it breaks my heart to see this. But this is competitive Age of Empires Slam. It wouldn't be great when you win if it doesn't hurt when you lose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see the GG here in a second. Curious if there's anything more said. Standard is just GG. Some people will say a little bit more. And of course, the chat. Yeah, there you go. GG, good luck from Loloi. And respect to Loloi for saying that. And respect this series. John the Fearless moves on to the quarterfinals tomorrow. And what a way to do it, Slam.
Incredible series between these two.
That was just sick. And the best game of the series was the final game of the series.
Yeah, no kidding.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's go back to probably one of the more exciting things about Hidden Cup 4 so far. We'll go to the demos. I think this was a demo. Now, one of these I'm supposed to look back at something we missed, Slam. Capture Age, I think it's trying to go back. And it's not. It's not. You know what? It doesn't want to do it, Slam. Maybe Capture Age Pro is a Laloy fan and just couldn't bear to rewatch it. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Oh, we're back. Oh, God. Hold on a second, people. Let's try and get to these highlights again. There we go. What was this one? Big demo there, probably. Wasn't there a castle soon, Slam? After this?
I just remember one of my favorite demos is when he demoed a bunch of villas building a castle on the marsh.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to find this for the viewers here because I know they're probably upset with me.
Because usually when you throw a demo at a bunch of villas that are all circling around a castle building, there's usually 1 or 2 on the sides that live. But for some reason, this demo hit the most perfect spot where it got every single one in a line. It was beautiful.
Let's see.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
Let's see. Oh!
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh my God.
Like, every single one.
That's got to be Tattoo. Now, let's watch it in reverse. Just for gigs. Let's see. The demo in reverse. Let's watch these villagers rise from the dead. Hey, stop it, Capture Age. Wait for it. Oh, there they go. Perfect. All right, well, that was maybe one of the many highlights of that game, Slam, but let's sum it up. We're professional casters after all, and I guess the gold really mattered. John the Fearless with 3,500 more gold in that game.
Yeah, he hit 30K right on the dot. That's
whoa
right there. Yeah.
Whoa, is that a bug?
Oh, are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing?
I'm
30,000, right?
If you're not in Capture Age, then it must be accurate. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. All right, and then a lot more food and wood collected. Slam, this game was very winnable for Laloy. He just didn't quite have enough in those pushes.
Yeah, he had that map control earlier. I think when it started to spin around was obviously when Britain's right when John got the middle island for that gold. I think that was the big turnaround.
Yeah, I feel like 2 or 3 more demos, 2 or 3 more Rams. That's really what decided it. If he would have had a bit more.
And even the Woad Ram demo push, like that was really good. I just feel like maybe in another game, same situation, I feel like Laloy would have been able to get away with that and actually, get enough snowball and push through that. But I think there was a lot of demos that were shot and maybe, Army wasn't coordinated at the right time, but it actually got a lot further than I was expecting. He was able to clear out the island, push him all the way back. It just didn't have enough.
It's almost surprising to see that it was just 4,000 gold more, but if you think about Elite Woad Raider cost, Fury Keltska cost, all the Rams and demos that went down, he just didn't gain enough ground with the gold that he spent, Laloy, and then he was out. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Woo!